Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live. We're here Sunday, and it's a little bit of an emergency meeting, man. It's a little bit of a serious catch up is needed, man, because there's been some developments today. I reckon serious developments. Before we've had, people guessing and whatnot, but today we've had some situations happening. But here with me to talk it all through, we got Ash, who's glowing from holiday. You can see the glowing, the what do you call it, the tan. You know what I'm saying? Till you're back to Manchester, man. You know what I mean? Sunny old Manchester.
Freezing cold, 8 degrees, step off the plane, just awful. I was sitting in 36-degree weather, enjoying life. Seeing no City shirts, do you know what I mean? Loads of United shirts, loads of United like bucket hats and stuff like that. And, they've all gone into hiding, the City fans, so that was nice to see, because the year prior it was littered with City fans all over the beach. So yeah, glad to be back, glad to be talking about Man United, being here with you boys in the chat as well. Make sure you boys are smashing them likes. Well deserved, and yeah, we'll get into it.
We'll
see what's going on.
Therefore, man, we got double A with the 2004 or was it 2 France kit.
World Cup when he got knocked out and he got beat by Senegal. And
Senegal, yeah, man.
I don't think you'll see. I can't bother turning around. It's got Zidane on the back.
Come on.
I just thought, Euros coming up. Let's wear something a bit classic. Do you know what I'm saying? But big up Saeed having us on as always. Life as a United fan goes on, and this Sunday, for those that are invested in this whole manager stuff, it's been a roller coaster. Saeed was giddy as anything in the chat before. And honestly, he was up here. He's back down here. I look on Twitter. He's back up here. Madness, mate.
Yeah, man. I was in the laundrette, man. I was doing my laundry. And then I had to stop the laundry, leave it to dry for around 50 minutes. I think my clothes is shrunk now. My clothes actually, I've seen it. I put it in the dryer for too long. And now I've got to get new clothes, man. Because
that is a Saeed story if I've ever heard.
I'm telling you. I put it on too high. And now, bro, my clothes is it's long, man.
Don't you have an attendant there to help you out? Is there no attendant?
Nah, but obviously I just put it in it. And then he said, yeah, you know what you're doing in it. And then I got off. You haven't left it for too long.
Also, Saeed, surely now you're at the level you've got a PA. What's going on here? Like, come on, big.
Nah, man, humble. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah. Listen, there's certain things I'll always do, man. You get me? If my mum found out there was people doing my washing for me.
What you mean is you didn't want the PA seeing your skids. That's what it was, isn't it? You're like, nah, there's certain things.
Yeah.
PA shouldn't be.
You can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything else, I'll take that. But laundry, I find it therapeutic, man. I just relax, put a podcast on, chill out. You know what I mean? Chat to the laundry guy. You know what I mean? I find it one of them trips that
do the 100 meter back home because I got to talk about Tuchel to United.
Yeah, and then I'll go back home. Yeah, exactly, man. So it's all mad. You know, no one's there. But listen, big up Flawless as well, man. What are you saying, Flawless? Everything blessed?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed. Apologies on that slight lateness there. I freaking knocked over my drink, so I had to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was slightly late. Speaking of mishaps, you talking about laundry. That's why. But yeah, man, I'm all blessed. And Double A mentioned it there. This Manchester United roller coaster in this managerial search. Don't get emotionally involved. That's the best thing to do. Do not get emotionally involved. That's what I would say.
Bro, how do you explain it today? Yeah, so it goes from Tuchel having a meeting with INEOS last week. They then discuss, deliberate, whatever it is. And then Fabrizio Romano comes out and says, yo, meeting happened, but the job ain't there anymore. And he's now having a break all of a sudden, yeah? This is what I find funny, innit? He wants a break, innit? You know what I mean? Knowing that for me, Tuchel has been twerking for the job all summer. Since he got sacked by him, he's been talking about he loves the Premier League. His agents have been briefing out that they love the Premier League. The idea of managing Man United, I'm here, to now all of a sudden, you know what I mean, it getting perceived that he's rejected us. I don't really see it that way. I really don't. The more I look at it, the more I see INEOS now said, you know what? You're not working with what we want. We have our indifferences. We're going to move on to the next person now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I believe. They've just moved on to the next candidate now. They said, yo, fair play, Tuchel. We had a chat. We don't really agree with what we want to do. Bye-bye. We'll move on to the next one. And then it's obviously going to be Zerbi, Pochettino. They're the two for me. Credible. When I mean credible, credible candidates. This idea of Southgate is just it's a fantasy that people are believing in. It's not Southgate. It's credible people are it's my man Pochettino and it's De Zerbi. It's two of them. I don't see Thomas Frank getting involved. I don't see anybody else. It's them two now that are left for me anyway. I don't know if anyone thinks differently. I don't know if everyone thinks the way I kind of put it down in terms of he's been rejected or he rejected us. Does anybody believe that he's rejected us? If you are, then let me know.
No, not a chance that he rejected us. You mentioned it there. He's wanted this job from instantly. Where is Tuchel going? Yeah. That is a bigger or better job than Manchester United. Yes, we are not in the greatest of situations. However, look at the options out there. In regards to top jobs, it is very, very limited. So when I seen the first post initially and, the news came out about, Tuchel would be interested in the Manchester United job. Well, of course, Tuchel would be interested in the Manchester United job. That's obvious. I didn't need him to say that or his representatives to say that. That is obvious. So in regards to that, I believe it's good to see actually that INEOS we're actually rejecting managers. There's actually a conversation going on. There's actually some form of power struggle because normally we've just folded to whatever a manager has wanted. And that's why we've been in the mess we have been. If a manager says, I want 100% of control of transfers, cool. If a manager says, I want this player, I want that player, also cool. So I do like that part. I don't know why it's taking so long though. This should have all been dealt with. I don't know why, I don't know why this Tuchel thing is now. This should have happened weeks ago. Type of thing, but I do agree with you. I still think it's De Zerbi because somebody. I go back to it. Somebody paid that fee.
Yeah, release clause. Yeah.
And we seem to be unless I don't know if AC Milan have hired a new manager, but they're the only other club I can think of. It's an AC Milan.
Meant to be getting Fonseca, aren't they? From
they're getting Fonseca.
Fonseca. Okay, but it's not been officially done yet.
I don't think so, but it's led. I think coming from Fabrizio said it. I think it's meant to be him.
So it's probably him. That's what I would say. But Double A put it in the chat earlier on, and he was like, "Nobody has a fucking clue." That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Eloquently put. That's pretty much what is going on. That most people talking about it don't have a clue what's happening.
I think what's most likely happened is Sir Jim's had that meeting there, hoping, expecting Tuchel to be his man. He's gone into the meeting and Tuchel's gone, well, I want a bit more say over transfers, I want a little bit more say over what's going on in the club because that's the issues I've had in the past. I want a little bit more input. And I think it's just not lined up with Sir Jim. And unfortunately, they've not been able to work out a deal together. I mean, like what you're saying there, Flawless, it should have happened weeks ago. It really should have. But at the end of the season, managers, they go away for breaks and stuff. And we're coming back to Ten Hag's back in work tomorrow at United.
He's back. He's back. Apparently, he's back.
He's back from holiday. Don't mean he's back at work.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
they're not going to get his fobs off him. They're going to get his fobs and say, "Yo, listen, he don't work anymore."
changing the codes now. You'll see that American footballer can't get.
Yeah. He can't get in the door.
He's not working.
It's true.
Yeah, but we want tomorrow will be 35 days out from our first preseason game. I mean, 35 days. No signings, not even close to looking like a signing. No manager in place. To me, it's worrying. I mean, I'm looking at it, and INEOS should have had things done, sewn up much soon. I mean, in the first couple of days, they've had months to realise that Ten Hag's not his man. They've had months to realise this, and the fact that it's continuing on, this is worrying. And I feel like we'll probably end up with Ten Hag going. And I know you're looking and thinking, well, they've put out the feelers for Tuchel, put out the feelers for other managers and stuff like that, but there's nothing concrete. There's nothing out there that makes you think, the guaranteed to get rid of Ten Hag. And for me, I'm worried. I'm worried going into, like I said, the next 30 days and going into the first preseason game, not having a manager. It's madness. And Saeed, you were saying about not getting Southgate and stuff.
Yeah.
The way INEOS have been running and going about things, I would have liked to have heard that we've rejected Southgate. We've heard that we've potentially rejected Tuchel. I want to be hearing that about Southgate, about others as well, because there's still those rumours still linger with Southgate. And okay, there's De Zerbi out there, who's kind of lurking in the shadows. But I feel like if a deal was done, it would have been done by now. Do you know what I mean?
But my thing is, sorry, just one thing there, because I did just on that Southgate thing. I did see a tweet today when all this Tuchel stuff was going. That I don't know who said it, but there was a tweet coming out from a journalist that apparently Southgate turned down a meeting with INEOS. So he said no to it. So all these meetings are going on. He's the one that apparently has said, I don't want to talk. Whether that's I don't want to talk right now, because obviously the Euros, it's yet to be seen.
This Athletic report, by the way, this is an opinion piece. So it's not even a journalistic piece. They're just saying what they think is going on at Man United rather than what they know. So I don't think for me, that Athletic report was BS to me. When I read it, it was like, I think this is going on. I think it's a shambles. It's not looking great. You know what I mean? These are all opinion pieces. These are not credible things. You know what I mean? Everyone's just looking on the name of Southgate because he's available. Like Thomas Frank could be available. You know, all these managers could be available, but can we get them? It's a different case, different scenario. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Anyway.
I hear what you're saying. The one thing that I've taken from all this, that Ten Hag won't be the manager.
There you go. Thank you.
If Ten Hag was your guy and was the guy you wanted to take us forward, why are you interviewing other people? Yeah, that's what I would say. Why is it like, and with this Tuchel thing? Because to my knowledge, I can't ever remember when Manchester United have looked for a manager in the past 11 years since Sir Alex, where there's been a meeting taking place. And then that manager, basically the manager's been announced. I don't remember there being reports about us interviewing Ten Hag or us interviewing Oli, even though he was kind of the manager. But Oli's a bad example, but Mourinho, same with Van Gaal as well. It was kind of like, this is the manager we've targeted and it's done. I don't remember any meeting. So that's where I do give INEOS credit that they're actually sitting down with managers and actually having conversations in regards to how things are going to run. But yeah, I think one thing for sure, I think Ten Hag is gone. How would you feel if you was him, if you was the manager? And
why has it not been announced, no Flawless? Why has it not been announced? I mean, what?
I disagree. I disagree entirely. I think he will be the man. I don't think because anything you're hearing now is getting debunked straight away. So it just sounds like bullshit that they're meeting people. I don't think INEOS are going to go out of the way to, because this for me is one of the biggest decisions that I'm ever going to have to make. That first managerial change. So I don't see them doing it halfway backwards, because you'd sack him first, then do the interviews, because there's no I like that phrase. There's no point keeping a man in his job, hanging him on by a thread if you're thinking of changing him. Get rid. You just get rid. You cut ties.
But that's what Bayern Munich did wrong, though. Bayern Munich did that as well. And look at them, it's working for company.
But the Glazers have been through the process so many times that they will still have a say on it. They will still have a say with INEOS. So they know for a fact that they did it with Van Gaal straight after the FA Cup final. So they've got precedent there. They've done it with Oli. They've done it with Mourinho. They're not going to turn, and they're not going to turn around and say, well, let's just string him along to see if there's anything better out there. It's like, it's basically what this list is showing me, it's like turning up to Tesco 2 hours after dinner time and you're left with a sweaty prawn sandwich, a crusty Ploughman's, and a sweaty club sandwich. It's
not rest to go to Tesco at the wrong time, man. And you go for a meal.
You find that plummy cheese. You know that plummy cheese thing.
I just leave it. I'm like, let me go get stand-up.
Leave it.
That's what I mean. We're shopping after the rush. It looks like we're just grabbing at anything that's left. None of these names inspire me and make me think Manchester United are going to be to the next level. Not one of them.
Here's why I don't think they've sacked him. This is mere speculation. So before anyone thinks, oh, are you in it? Because I've had people say, oh, you know what's going on. No, I have no one at the club. This is just mere speculation. The reason why I don't think he's been sacked, because I believe there is pushback in the hierarchy. I actually think INEOS want to get rid of him, and I think the Glazers want to. I think the Glazers want to keep him, and I think INEOS.
Oh no, false, never. No. The Glazers would have sacked him months ago. Glazers would have sacked him months ago. We've seen that with managers in the past.
No. The reason why I'm a clarify, because it sounds wild, so I'm a give my reasoning as to why I actually believe that. Because from when INEOS have got here, they've managed to get rid of so many people, no issues, done swiftly. There's been no debate about anybody Manchester United have got rid of. We've hired a CEO, there was no debate. Technical director, no debate. Head of physio, no debate. Chief communication officer, no debate. Targeted a DOF, no debate whatsoever. And the reason why I don't think the Glazers have got are pushing back and have not got rid of him, because Glazers are daft enough to listen to fans. If the Glazers were still here, I believe we would go and get Tuchel. When we was linked with Tuchel, I stated this. That's a very Glazerish appointment to get the fans on side. And with the backing that the fans have give this guy, that's where I think it stems from. The whole writing the letter the supporters wrote. I don't think INEOS pay attention to that, but you know who pays attention to that? The Glazers. Because one thing they've done is held on to managers for far too long. Oli should have been sacked way before he should have been sacked. Mourinho should have been sacked way before he should have been sacked. That's where I think it is. This is the only thing that, and this, bear in mind, this is someone who's not a fan of INEOS. This is the only thing that has been delayed. Everything else we've done has been done swiftly. No matter if we're bringing people into the club or people are getting removed from the club. Literally from top to bottom, we're hearing about change. I think there is some struggle up top. And I genuinely think the Glazers want to keep him, because fans are on side with it. Because for whatever reason, a large proportion of our fan base have a major attachment to Ten Hag, and I don't know why. At first, I was with you, Ash. I thought if Glazers, if this was solely Glazers, they getting rid of him. But now that I've sat down and thought,
the reason why I said he would.
Let's go on.
The only reason why I say they would is because whenever we've not hit Champions League, that's been like the trigger point, hasn't it? That's been the one where they've gone, right, we cut ties, now we move on, we try and get another manager in. That will potentially, get us to Champions League. I'm just worried again. Ten Hag's potentially, he's off holiday. He's going to be looking at things. What are players going to be thinking coming into the club? Players surrounding the club. I mean, at the moment, it's all very amateurish. And this idea of the interview process, I'm sure, as much as they need to interview a manager, they'll have a clear idea of what a manager is going to bring to the club, and what they don't need to sit down and speak to a manager to understand what a manager, what De Zerbi wants to bring, or what Tuchel wants to bring, or what whoever wants to bring. They'll understand and they'll know. They have an idea. So this idea that they're sitting down with managers, it's worrying because, like I said, we're so close to pre-season. You may say 4 weeks out, but I mean, you've seen after the FA Cup weeks, they tick over quickly. Do you know what I mean? And so far, we're doing nothing with targets and players coming into the club. What are they going to be thinking? Because players want to play for managers as much as you want to say they want to play for a structure. They want to play for a manager, and they want to know who's their man they're going to be playing under. Do you know what I mean? And we've got no idea of that so far, unless they are dealing with it with the idea that Ten Hag's still staying in the job. And they've not communicated. We've not had any leaks as to say he's leaving the job, which usually we get a few leaks.
We don't get a few leaks, but you know what makes it clear as day that they don't want him? They interviewing other managers. That's like being in a relationship and you're out there going on dates. This is the equivalent of that. This is the.
I just think they're doing the due diligence. They're just having a look around. They're seeing if there is better out there, because he'll understand himself. He's not done a good enough job.
You said it there, Ash, looking around to see what's out there. So if that's like being you're unhappy on your relationship, you're gonna look around and see what's out there. If you're looking to move on from it, that's clear as day. This don't happen at any other top club. They have INEOS to me have made it clear. Okay, we want to move on from him. So why have they not moved on from him? Why has he not been sacked?
Because they've still not made them. They made a decision on their man.
And I genuinely think there's some pushback. Whether
I think.
Saeed, before you go, it might not even necessarily be just the Glazers. Maybe INEOS can't decide themselves because it's not one person.
Yeah. Did you see the Dale Brailsford interview that he did on Stephen Bartlett? He said he struggles to make decisions in terms of, understanding what the popular opinion is versus understanding what the performance opinion is. There's a video out there online now. If you type in Dale Brailsford, it's a video of him saying that he takes time to make decisions because he wants to make the right one, and he doesn't want to rush into making decisions. So
we haven't got time. This Manchester United.
I still think we got about a week left to make a decision.
A week, bro.
A week.
They've been here since February. This how long does this review have to go on? Up and down, back.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather wait for the wrong decision or wait for the right decision?
Well, obviously, we wait for the right decision, but it's making the decision. That's the issue. Making a decision.
Obviously, but what I'm saying is, right, the FA Cup was 2 weeks ago now, right? So you can't tell me.
He went on holiday.
You can't tell me Eric Ten Hag has been kept in the job off that one game. And if that is the case, then I'm very, very worried about them making decisions because so after the FA Cup final, he says he don't want to rush. So we shouldn't be expecting it next week then, because the time frame to make the correct decisions 3 weeks. Well, he should have done that well before when the Champions League was out of reach for us then, because it's been a lot longer than 3 weeks before that happened. So I'm struggling to think about what the mindset is of INEOS and what they're actually saying, because they're saying one thing but then doing the absolute opposite. Because there's no way you're telling me that Ten Hag's been safe in his job all season long, for me anyway. But
and that's where I agree with you, Double A, in regards to a decision should have been made. And I had my doubts about INEOS anyway, because I think if it was 100% INEOS or 100% Glazers, a decision would have been made on this. We would not be, there wouldn't be this whole we don't know. One thing about the Glazers, as much as we dislike him, we know where we stand. We know where we stand. Yes, there's times we've wanted managers gone, but then when it's happened swiftly. It's not been drawn out. And it's happened. So, and I think if INEOS was in charge, same. I believe there's some pushback upstairs. Because
I don't believe it. Honestly, I don't believe there's any pushback from them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they've given it football decisions to the manager.
So what do you think the delay is then, Saeed? Because clearly it's something.
I think the delay is the interview process in terms of what they want versus what the manager wants, and can they come to an agreement as to what the project is. I think they're still they're talking to De Zerbi. I don't know if they're talking to Postino's camp or not, but that's another one. They spoke to Tuchel.
Should not all of this have been done?
Well, it can be done, but then I think it's an interesting project. It's an interesting project, and they don't want to rush as well. That's what I believe.
I hear the not wanting to rush. That I fully understand. Do not rush this. However, my point is, you have been here since February. You have had ample time to be fair,
they didn't really decide. I think they've decided along the way. But I think,
let's say they decided April. Let's say it's April. We'll just give them April 1st, for example. So you've had April. You've had April.
Wilcox came in.
So you've had April. So you've had the entire month of April and the entire month of May. That's 2 months to decide whether you want to keep the manager, and if you don't want to keep the manager, who you want to get. Time is not our friend here.
Yeah,
we have so much work to do, regardless of who the manager is, in terms of the squad, improving the squad, getting rid of players. The Euros also shortens that time as well, because that can make it tougher to do deals. They need this should have been dealt with. But I had my doubts about INEOS from the jump anyway.
For me, I'm not bothered about signings. I don't care about signings right now. I think everybody needs to relax with signings. They're just shiny new toys.
Saeed, more so outgoings though is what I'm looking.
Yeah, outgoings. Yes, I agree. I agree the outgoings. But why is everyone bothered about signings? Like, we need to focus on the manager.
Do you know why, Saeed? I'm not necessarily who was signing, but the only reason I'm bothered about signings coming in is because players will be looking at United now going, what the fuck is going on? Who am I signing for? Who am I playing for?
Yeah.
Is Ten Hag, if I do sign and Ten Hag stays for the season, is he staying beyond that? Because if you don't give him a new contract and he gets sacked, then there's going to be a new manager coming in who might not fancy me. Then I'm gone the season after. It's a shit show because players don't know if they're coming or going. So at least they might be saying, I want to sign for you, but who am I playing for? Is he going to be here after next season? Do you know what I mean? And then that puts doubt in players' minds. So then we're missing out on targets because Chelsea, you believe, have stolen a match on him now. So it's pushing everything back. And yes, you want to make the right decisions, but therefore you work around the clock to make sure the right decision is thorough. You don't. It's not necessarily. It don't have to be weeks. It could be days. As long as you work around the clock because you know it's such an important decision, you do the overtime, you put the work in, you speak to people constantly. Listen, guys, we ain't resting until this decision is the right way to go forward for the club. Because if we get this wrong, we're on a downward spiral. It's crazy.
Bro, listen, Matisse, I don't know what you're doing here, man. Focus on Maresca, man. All right, let me get
Tuesday, we could have ended up with Maresca still. So
I don't know. I don't know if we would have got him, to be fair, but yeah.
No, that's the point I'm making. It could.
They need to worry about their stadium. You see their stadium right now. Go worry about your football pitch, Matisse, man. Have you seen that pitch? Bro, it's a mess.
You mean Stamford Beach?
Stamford Beach, mate. Worry about that, bro. What the flip is this, mate? It's crazy. Jamaica United love the hat ash. Where can I buy one? Big up.
I got this one from the Mega Store, so I guess United website, but I got it from the Mega Store, so
it's fire. Is it grey and gold?
Just gold,
just
the gold.
Just gold, that looks fire. Still.
It's a new era, So
man, that's fire. Big up. Deji case sounds like really you want to believe that Tuchel was rejected, even without any report. Sounds like copium to me. Big up, Terry.
Tuchel wanted that job.
Yeah, one, I think Tuchel wanted it, and two, it's not copium because I didn't want Tuchel.
Exactly. There you go.
I didn't want Tuchel, so
it wasn't on the priority list of where we wanted.
I'm cool on that. I didn't want.
There you go. There you go. And Tariq, big up to you, my friend. He said, big up, lads. Say, my brother, who do you think will come on top next season when Southgate's manager plays at Arne Slot? Oh, my God. Seriously, man. Like, I don't want to think that will happen, Tariq, but I'm guessing Arne Slot will probably win that game. You know what I mean? Because you can't beat Southgate, mate. Embarrassing. Well, big up Tariq, man. Thank you very much, bro. Donna said, fact one, if INEOS wanted Ten Hag, they wouldn't openly interview alternatives. This is what I said. This is what a lot of people are not getting, guys. Ten Hag is gone. Everybody in your heads, guys, yeah? Please just relax. Ten Hag is gone. It's just now the process now, the succession plan of who comes in next. Yeah?
You're not a little bit
that's
worried
all
though,
we-
Saeed? Are you not a little bit worried that we're still in?
Nah,
I'm
Saeed, I'm with
I'm
you.
worried, man.
I'm not. Hey, Ash, don't worry, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Bro,
we should be
Listen,
worried.
I know
the
Ten Hag's
Crystal
gone.
Palace
That's all I'm worried.
Ash, man, every little thing's gonna be all right, man. Don't worry.
You know when you
man.
go to exam? You know when you go
Don't
to
worry
exam, yeah? You revised. That's all you can do. You've got it to exam. Now just tackle the paper. Just go in like that with your mentality. Do you know what I mean? Like you've done your homework, you've done your exam. Now,
Saeed is the
inshallah,
greatest
pray.
of all time.
No, but it's true though.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
inshallah, pray. When I
Pray.
say
You
an
just say,
exam,
right,
yeah,
you've done your revision. You've done all. You've learned everything you need to learn.
Hey,
That is
Saeed's wearing one of them shrunken t-shirts, a bit too tight and everything. Dropping the blood
Bro.
flow to the head.
There's not much more we can do.
Saeed is
I
great, yo.
know that I've done my best ability in my revision. Yeah. Same thing now with this feeling in my head. I know Ten Hag is gone. What's the worst that could happen? And it ain't gonna be Southgate. It ain't going to be Southgate. So what's the worst that could happen? You tell me.
The worst to me is Southgate, but then the worst next to that, just above that, is Poch. As long as it's not one of those two, I'll be cool with
Yeah.
it.
But I think Poch is gonna take a
I'll be
sabbatical.
cool. Yeah, I genuinely don't think it'll be Poch. Like, I don't think so. I don't think it will be Southgate. So, like, that's why I'm not concerned about. Not concerned is the wrong word, but I'm not worried. That's what I'd say about who the next manager is. It's not a worry.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping he has
I'm not
some
worried.
form of credentials. Don't go get a championship manager. At least someone who's managed in a top flight somewhere in Europe.
My
That's
biggest
an
worry
ideal
is
world.
keeping this manager. That's my. You know when you have, so you got two worries. Yeah, you've got the worry of who's been appointed versus the worry of keeping the manager. My worry is that if they keep this manager,
That's your
that's
biggest
my
worry.
big. Yes,
Bigger than Southgate coming in.
no, because I don't rate Southgate. So I
No, you
you know
can't
what?
say that. You can't say that. No. You can't. You
Probably
can't.
not
do that.
Southgate, but you know what I mean,
You
like
can't do that.
Southgate.
You can't do
If
that.
Southgate, I'll keep it. If it was Southgate, I'd keep Ten Hag for one more year. If it was Southgate,
If it's
What
either
about
or
Poch?
one, if it's
What
one of
about
those two,
Poch?
just burn the stadium down. Let's
just burn the
call it
stadium
quits.
down.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Just go play
halfway
golf.
there. It's halfway there, Flo.
Yeah, just go
I
and
big up
just finish.
MFCB, man.
Just go play golf. You know what I'm
Big up,
saying?
big
And
up.
that. Like, that's
Tomorrow,
what we need to
maybe
do.
tomorrow.
Go
No, I'm
take
just
up
saying. I'm
golf.
just saying that though. I'm just saying that. Which is your biggest worry? The person coming in or Ten Hag staying? What's your biggest worry?
The person coming in. I'll be honest. The person coming in.
Okay.
Because, and this is going to sound right. I would rather from the names we're having at the moment, barring maybe De Zerbi, but the only thing about De Zerbi is, and I'll just say, I go against what you guys were saying before, is that if we have paid for his release clause, why is he not already not in post? You don't hang. If you pay someone's release clause,
Yeah.
he's in post straight away. You don't string him along interviewing other people because you've wasted money, haven't you? Because if that was happened to me, if I got paid out of my contract at a job and then I was like, hold on, why are you talking to Flawless or Ash? No, I stay with them. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them for me. I would like this out of all the names, De Zerbi for me. You know, he's the triple Southern fried chicken wrap that looks quite good still in Tesco's. That's fine. You know what I mean? Because I think he eventually could be a great project manager, and I've kind of done a 180 on him from the other week. You know, looking at it. So if it's him over Ten Hag, absolutely. But Southgate, Potter, Frank, Tuchel,
Bro, this Southgate.
them names
Bro.
do not do anything. And I would rather not trust this manager. But listen, the only thing that Ten Hag can do from here on out is hang himself even further. So I would rather keep him, and then these other managers put themselves out of the running for next season.
Yeah.
The only chance we possibly like to get him, gonna get him, is this summer. So if Ten Hag's sacked by December, we're then looking at the next thing and the next manager. Who can we get in? And I think by then you look more likely to have a lot more, you know, high class names, better names that are probably more suited to what we want to do and who will get the fans excited. These names at the moment for me, it's scraping the barrel. So I as much as I don't want to, I don't in the chat probably got it twisted thinking I want Ten Hag to stay. Absolutely do or not. And I do want a new change. But I think change at the moment isn't good enough. And I want good enough. And if INEOS weren't good enough, apparently best in class, you look at them names, you can't be saying to me they're best in class anywhere. Not even best in class in the championship, some of them. So, you know, it's not going to get us any better, is it?
You know what?
Could this be a situation?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, now this could be a situation where, similar to what happened with Omar Barada, we just get caught out of left field, have no idea who's coming in next, and maybe get someone like an Amorim or I mean, it's a dream, I know, but an Inzaghi or one of those kind of managers, the Stuttgart manager, there's been a little bit of like talk of him today. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful if it's not going to be De Zerbi, like what you were saying there, AA, whereas if it had been paid off, he'd be in the job already. Do you know what I mean? That he would be in the job, and that is what's worrying about that. So the only alternative is we're looking at a manager that no one's even thinking about. No one's looking at. The press have no idea, because INEOS has done well at appointing a few of the board members and stuff without journalists knowing. So hopefully there's someone out there like I said, like an Amorim. I'd be absolutely over the moon with an Amorim. Liverpool were looking at him before they got Arne Slot. They couldn't work out a deal there with his buyout and his contracts and stuff. So it shows that he's a quality and the caliber of a manager that we should be looking at. So the potential for someone like that to come out of left field and surprise us, and I'm hopeful, because De Zerbi, as good as he is, and I like De Zerbi, I like his tactics, I like his philosophy, I like the fact that he implements his own game philosophy.
This comment here is a good one, because they did say there was names that we don't know about. So
I'm cool with that. If it's someone they get out of left field, then they have some form of resume. All right, which could be the case. Let's say it is Dreamland, it is Amorim, or it is an Inzaghi, or it's someone else we haven't decided on. But keeping Ten Hag is definitely, without doubt, that's arrested. That is a road going nowhere. Bro. We know what happens. I'd rather go with the unknown.
Yeah, could be Potter. Sure. Would be.
You know how
Potter's not been in question.
Like Potter, Pochettino.
I take Potter.
I'm not taking none of them.
I would.
They're the only.
We saw him fail his debut.
He should have been at Chelsea, man.
No, I don't think it's bad as what people think he is.
They're the only three I'm dead set against is those three. Anyone else is all right. Even if you're like, even De Zerbi, he wasn't my first choice, but I can understand as to why you would bring him into this situation. And I think he'll definitely do a better job than a Ten Hag. And I've more optimism going into the season.
Yeah, I saw shout out to Alice.
Big up Alice.
She put a tweet out before saying we'd had links to Honus from Stuttgart. Now for me, he's probably next up, and I think
second in the league.
Yeah, man, and probably not likely to leave Stuttgart, but apparently,
come on, if United come calling,
this is what you hope. The name still carries that weight to get a manager out. But Champions League with Stuttgart, Europa League with United. Does that still hold the same weight? But it's apparently INEOS like him, and he's someone that they admire.
Triple his wages. That's what make him like us.
But it's him, it's Motta, it's Inzaghi, it's Amorim. Those four managers to me. I know two of them not attainable whatsoever, but Honus or Amorim. I think if we were serious about this project INEOS and where we want to be best in class, you steal a march on one of those two, I think, because them two potentially look like great up-and-coming managers that we should be... They're the names that we should be getting linked with, not the fucking run of the litter. Do you know what I mean? Like, dogs just running in, chasing their tails, banging into doors and that. Like that. It's not what we need, for me. Yeah. For me, anyway.
No, 100%, I hear you. But you know what's mad, yeah? And big up the super chat here. Big up Dan Watson says, United on the stock market in the US, so... legally, no one will know anything until the announcement meeting is taking place. These journals guessing, in my opinion. Always. Of course, everybo's guessing. But what's irking me is these Southgate links, man. Because you know what it is here? They're just putting two and two together. They're going on like, Dan Ashworth, who's not in the job yet, by the way, has links to Southgate. Or INEOS have always admired Southgate. And everyone's just using that as a stick to kind of be like, he's part of the process, and that's why it's taking so long. Bro, man's got a whole tournament to think about. How can you put in your eggs in one basket for a manager that's literally leading England to a Euros that could potentially go as far as the final? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they could potentially go to the final, which is on July the 15th, is it? I think July the 15th. Are you telling me INEOS, a big establishment like them, would risk that and jeopardize the whole process by waiting for a manager that they believe might not be here until the pre-season? Bro, pre-season. Bro, that's irresponsible, man. That's crazy.
The Southgate links is always going to get more
traction, yeah.
Because rival fans are going to run with it. And
I know, and they're going to click on it as well. Yes.
If any of our rivals was linked to Southgate, I would be running with it every day because it's
every
just
day.
Funny.
Are you
it's
mad?
Just funny. It's just hilarious. Like me, obviously it's not funny because we're United fans, but anyone else, that's hilarious. And secondly, like I say, it's the England manager. So not only it's going to get clicks, it's going to get retweets, it's going to get likes more than a Frank Link or Tuchel or a De Zerbi or whoever else. So yeah, that's why I've never ever been concerned about Southgate. I don't think INEOS will make a decision that bad. They can't downgrade from Ten Hag, which I believe he is. I think he's a downgrade. That's the point I'm making. I don't believe out of all the managers they could pick, they go and get the one who is without doubt general consensus a downgrade. Even if we want to go get,
don't know though. That's the truth, isn't it? We don't actually know what they're going to be like.
Yeah, but like I can't see them making that type of error. That's a monstrosity of an error. That's worse.
I thought it was a monstrosity of error keeping Ten Hag in to finish where we finished in the season. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was a monstrosity of an error.
It's different because he's got a record at the club. But if you look at it objectively, and I'm genuinely serious now, apart from take away the promoted and relegated clubs from last season and this season, what club does Gareth Southgate get a job at in the Premier League?
Bro, none.
Serious question. He doesn't get one at all. He is not at the level for Premier League football. He's nowhere near it. He struggles with international football. I watched England the other night. That was fucking disgusting. How that manager has that group of players and can't get them to play in any. He is Ten Hag. He is the British Ten Hag. He's a Sainsbury's Ten Hag. I'm telling you, because he's just
Sainsbury's.
Well, he's a Sainsbury's Ten Hag. I'm telling you, because he just cannot get a tune out of the talent he's got there at the club, at the national team. And I feel sorry for you England fans because I think you're going to be massively disappointed.
Man said I ain't involved.
But I'm never, mate. I don't support England, and I listen. Even if it did, after what they did to Saka,
100%.
I wouldn't anyway because shout out to your video, Saeed, because I want to say on here as well. Big up to you and a few other creators that were calling out today because listen. We most of us here on this panel have all experienced racism in some form or way in our lives, and it needs to stop. It needs calling out because, listen, and you see people defending it on Instagram and all that,
it's crazy.
But Beckham had it in '98, and like Maguire's not suffered. Listen, it's a different like the Beckham one is an extreme case, and I lived through that, and that's one of the reasons why I don't support England because of David Beckham. So to say I see that as less as what these boys go through now, obviously not. But listen, I see the Saka's going down the same line again, not his fault as it was in 2021. And I fear for these boys when England get knocked out of the tournament because
you know exactly what's underway.
You know exactly what's coming. Exactly what's coming. So, yeah, just shout out to you, Saeed. A few other creators that have all called this out.
Big up, man.
You got everyone in the chat and everyone watching. Like, make sure you call it out when you see it because these boys only want to play for the country and do well. And a lot of even Mainu getting it. How's Mainu getting it after 4 games?
Oh, it's crazy. Man are writing articles mid-game.
Obvious as well.
It knocks me sick. Like,
Ten
Hag called it out, and that's what we do in this country. We build them up to knock them down. And it's already happening. So, yeah, man. I just want to say a little piece.
No, big up, man. I appreciate it, man. Come on.
It's always good, man.
Man. But yeah, like I said, man, the Southgate one has no for me substantial. Like I said, everybody now, listen, Twitter, you can get revenue from it. So it's all for clicks and it's all for articles and people want to get what they want to get. But for me, I've always kept it 100. Southgate is not in the realm. But I do agree that if people are anxious about it, and I know the chat is now getting a bit worried, getting a bit bothered. I think, you know what it is for me? I think people just want to know what the decision maybe is. Like, people are meant to be saying,
they don't want to be in, no one wants to be in the unknown. And normally at Manchester United, that is one thing we are not used to.
We're not used
Manchester
to it.
United fans, we know everything.
I told it's character building, I think. I think they're doing a social media experiment, I think they're doing something, man. Nah, generally, they're doing something.
Which is good. Since they've come in, we haven't seen leaks, which is good. We shouldn't know the ins and outs of what is going on. However, a decision should have been made. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
There should have been some form of decision and something dealt with, and it's all just very, very strange. That's what I would say. Like in regards to, is he staying? If he's not staying, who's the manager? You're also interviewing another manager, but then the whole thing, and even back to the De Zerbi thing as well. I know we're not on topic. Who did pay the release clause? Because he's not been announced by anybody. I fully get what you're saying, Double A, in regards to he would have been. It makes sense what you're saying in regards to him being announced, but somebody paid it. Who?
Somebody
paid himself.
See,
He risked himself. He paid himself. Paid it out.
He paid himself. He paid it out. He's like, let me pay this for me.
Expecting something. Yeah, it's right though. Like, but then is it even real then? If that's the case, if he's not gone straight into a job, what is he waiting for? Who is he waiting for? Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Very strange.
What happens if they do the interview process? They interview Ten Hag, and then they're like, "Yeah, no, actually, we think you're the best of the candidates that we've seen so far, and yeah, you're going to be our man until the end of the summer, until we get to like October and stuff." When Southgate's had a bit of a holiday, and then they bring in Southgate because he's always been on the back burner anyway.
I'll tell you what, to do a Drake and nick a bar from Flawless, INEOS are on the clock. As simple as that.
You know? They are. They've been on the, and if they do that. I know where I stand. You lot are incompetent. Cool. I can now emotionally detach and just when we do MUFC and Filter podcast, I'll be asking you lot about the game because I'll be watching, but I'm not invested. I'm not going to be watching in detail because I know you're not a serious organization. If you take over a football club, have all the evidence because we have the evidence from the outside looking in how bad Ten Hag is. So imagine what it's like actually being on the inside of the actual club and how shocking everything is. And you go, nah, Ten Hag's still the guy to take us forward. I know you are not fit for purpose. You are incompetent. I already know this. That's why I've said it all along, all summer long. I mean, even from when INEOS initially taken over, all the questions I have about them will be answered this summer. And if they keep Ten Hag, I know what I'm dealing with. You lot aren't Glazers 2.0, but you're close to it in regards to decision making. If you
because you waited all that long and then you just basically said, you know what?
Then you keep Ten Hag. That's the best you could do. Like, it don't wash with me the whole, there's no one better out there nonsense. If you can't go and locate a manager better than Erik Ten Hag, who finished 8th with a minus goal difference, fell out with a load of the players, had the worst Champions League campaign in English history, you can't find a better manager than him. You are not fit to do your job. Simple as that.
Yeah,
it's not like he's the creme de la creme. It's not like man won a Premier League last year and we got beat in the Champions League final or semi-final and was playing fantastic football and he improved so many players. We're not replacing anything special. You're not even replacing average. The bar is on the floor. Legit, the only manager you can get who is worse than him on paper is Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
that's
the only manager. That's worse than him on paper. Yeah,
I say Potter's up there.
Not really.
I don't rate Potter, but I'd still put Potter a level above him.
And the only thing, I don't think
tactically though, you got to remember tactically. Graham Potter was one of the best managers around. A couple of years ago. Now he's not.
Okay,
0 to 10. We're talking 1 and 2. If Ten Hag's a 1, I'm saying Potter's a 1.5 or a 2. It's not much difference. Is the point I'm making. You cannot do worse than the bottom of the scale. Apart from Southgate, who's in the minuses. That's it. If you go get a manager who's a 5, 6 out of 10, I go, all right. It's not ideal, but cool. I see where you're going with this type of thing. You're supposed to be competent. You lot are supposed to be competent people and good at your job and have been here before.
Yep.
You own a football club in Nice. So, and you've also had some success in sport. And you're hiring all these people. I just can't believe you're going to get Barada in. You're going to get a Wilcox. Go get a DOF. Get rid of all these people. And then you go, Ten Hag's our guy to keep. Logically, to me, that don't make sense. But I don't put anything past these people because I don't trust INEOS.
Yeah. Bro, it's see it to believe in it. Like, that's what we are right now. You know what I mean? We have to understand that we're not going to be pro INEOS. I'm just kind of like pro... Like, I'm just against all these agendas that people are making out like they're Glazers 2.0 yet when we've not heard anything right now. They've not made a decision. You know what I mean? And if they rush the decision, everyone would have been like, they're Glazers. And now they're taking their time, well, they're Glazers. Like, can they win? I don't think they can win. Yeah, I just think for me, give them this week now. Give them time to understand. You know what? It's going to be a tough process. We're going to find out the right man. But we're going to get the right man in the end. And that's what matters the most. Had they rushed and go and get Arne Slot, what if they go and get Arne Slot? Look what Liverpool did. They rushed to go and get Arne Slot. They might sack him in October. Then all of a sudden, they've got a bad manager. Who knows?
I don't think they rushed that because he knew for time that Klopp was leaving. They've done that since that
But
announcement.
when did they know? When did they know? Since
When
February?
did they announce it? It was early doors, wasn't it?
Early January, February, wasn't it?
But still, though, it's not as if like you know what I mean. Like they when you look at it now, like Arne Slot compared to the managers that are available, you know, is he one of the most credible that's out there? Probably not.
LVG yesterday, was it today? Yesterday was saying he's the best Dutch manager out there. Throwing shade at Ten Hag. Not if you heard that. Okay. Yeah, he said he's the best Dutch manager out there.
Arne Slot is better than any of the candidates United have got. This is what I'm trying to say. But I bet you this guy here has never watched a game in the Dutch league. But he's coming out here saying that. This is what I don't get, man. Nobody watches the Dutch league.
That, man. He watches the Vise week in, week out, man.
Week in, week out. Yeah, fair play then, innit?
Yeah. And all them teams.
But even Liverpool fans have admitted that, though. They've said, you know what? We haven't really seen Arne Slot. We haven't really, you know what I mean? Like they haven't understood what he is. They probably watched a few games maybe in the Europa League or something like that.
But most United fans haven't watched Erik Ten Hag, and everyone was, you know.
Well, there you go. Remember, most of them watched it in the Champions League. I think most people watched him in the Champions League.
Yeah, because a lot of them were slagging him off because of the he couldn't get past Spurs.
There you go.
So it was one of them.
Everybody says, like even these transfers that come out, they say Diomande's this and you know this guy's here is unbelievable. Like, do you watch the Portuguese league every week? No, you don't. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna be watching Boa Vista and Braga.
Yeah, Boa Vista, man, and them man, and Rio Ave, Rio Ave, yeah,
Chavez,
Chavez, and and all these names, bro. I'm telling you, man. Madeira FC, you know, it's crazy, man.
Madeira FC.
JJ Ash says United is meant to be a top team. Are you not settling for all these mediocre prospective managers? Glazes lowered your expectation, people from Aguna.
Yeah, they hired an assistant. What's he talking about? They hired an assistant. Do you know what I mean? They're not even a proper coach.
Nah, but I know JJ well enough. Hey, JJ, I know JJ well enough. JJ, I know you haven't said that, and you're not Arteta route. I know he's Arteta route. So JJ, please let us know if you.
Is he Arteta? I'm sure JJ is Arteta.
Nah, he's got to be out. With that comment, I'm just guessing. I could be.
I think he's trolling us, man. He's trolling. JJ loves to troll, but I get. But I think what he's trying to say though is that the standards are low. I get it, but at the same time, I can't lie. This is what we are right now. This is what we are right now.
I was just about to say that, Saeed. It's not about settling. It's about accepting. If you ask us for who we're getting, none of us are going to pick Southgate number one. None of us are picking Frank number one. None of us are picking De Zerbi. When this was initially, when we spoken, which we have done for months on the show, and we was talking about getting rid of Ten Hag, people were like, who would you get? None of us four ever said Southgate or De Zerbi or ever said that as our number one choices. These are just the names that are mixed in. We all wanted different people. We didn't want anyone who's been. None of us said Tuchel. It's like, oh yeah, I'd accept Tuchel, but he's not top of the list type of thing. It's accepting where you are. Personally, I wanted us to go get Flick. I said this. That's who we should have went and got personally, in my opinion. And then second to that, I think we should still go and get Amorim now. But we haven't been linked to him. I'm hoping out the blue we just go and get him. But we'll see what's what. So it's not about settling. It's just about accepting where you're at, unfortunately.
Yep. Facts, 100%. Big up Nate, he says here. Big up as well, LFC side for the Gimbiff membership. Big up Nate, he says, Ten Hag is God. He won trophies at the biggest club in Holland with the Dutchess, with the biggest budget and best players in the shite league. Lost 2-1 to PSV in a cup final. Funny enough, you know what I mean? I remember that one. That was the last game.
That's a bit
before
different. You can't call you lost the cup final. Does that mean Pep's finished? He's got he's won the league. He's had the biggest budget, the best players. What does that mean? It's a stupid point. Sorry.
Guys, 1.8k in here, and I don't think we've even got 500 likes yet. So please, guys, support the channel. Big up Visualize. He said support the channel, people. Yeah, please like the video if you can. Big up Indiana says someone needs to tell me what the plan is. Until I know what it is, I can't say if the managerial appointment is wrong.
Apparently, Indiana, it's best in class. That's apparently best in class. And was it a British core? So I think that's the plan. But what does that mean?
Again, that's what it is. It's a lot shrouded, and shout out to Indiana as well. It should have been decided before the manager. The manager should be a part of the plan. The manager shouldn't be the plan. We are playing this way. All right, this manager fits that. Yeah. He shouldn't be on the manager. It's like, no, you are not the head of this mission. You're on the mission with us. That's what it is.
The problem with this though is the best in class and the British core thing don't go together because the best in class aren't British. So I don't know exactly what are you trying to do there? It's like, you know, you're mixing.
Wait,
you're
but when they
mixing,
said British court, did they mean like off the pitch or was it on the pitch or was it
listen,
both?
again, does that
It was
mean
general, weren't it? It was just
Yeah, like-
generalized term.
coaches,
What does that mean?
manager?
We talking the canteen stuff? Maybe
Well, we
it's
got
the
Will
team lady-
Cox. We're going for Dan Ashworth. Do you know what I mean? You know, the
Hey,
British there.
Bear pie and mash and spotted dick and pudding.
that-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
crazy. Hey, yo.
Bro.
You never had spotted dick. You've never had
Never.
spotted- You need to stop doing that. Everyone had
What-
spotted dick in
what's
school, surely.
What is that? No.
But I don't know what that is, man.
What,
I swear down.
what is
Is it
going
that?
on here, yo?
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
What is happening here, yo?
Bro, I don't know.
Everyone knows.
What is
You know what's mad? Yeah. Listen, let's
gonna have
continue.
a serious conversation. Don't
Aye.
get over there crying.
Can I just say something for a minute on INEOS? INEOS, with their
Yeah,
football
yeah, go on.
decisions, you look at their football. The boardroom decisions have been great, and you know we've all like praised their the boardroom decisions. But in regards to the footballing decisions, like what footballing decisions they made in January, we didn't sign a player when we could have signed players, and maybe it helps us out on a push for top four. They decided not to back the manager. You know, them in cahoots with the Glazers decided, you know what, we're not going to go in with anyone in January, and then they allow the manager to get close to the top four. See at a point where we were almost falling away from the top four and didn't think, you know what, we need to replace this guy. Get a new manager in. Get even an interim to give us a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a boost, give us something. They've shown nothing. There's been multiple decisions now where on the footballing side of things, it's been a little bit worrying. And for me, I've yet to see anything from them on the footballing side of things where they showed positive. So again, the big decision they've got to make is with this manager, and are they going to get it right? I'm not too sure, and I'm worried about these Southgate reports. You know, you see me, I'm worried about the fact that we might keep Ten Hag past the summer into the first few months of the season, and then eventually go for Southgate. That to me is a real possibility, and I'm worried about it because, you know, we've seen with INEOS so far, they've not been quick to make decisions. They've been happy to just leave things and let things play out, kind of let them go a little bit too long.
That's what it is, basically. Sorry to cut you off there, but that's what.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spotted it. Yeah.
Right, big up Rants for the raid as well. Yo, big up. Large up Rants for the raid. Come on, man.
That Google search could have done you dirty then, Saeed.
Yeah, I know. That's why I went down. That's why I went down.
I
Search on that.
searched it on Google and made sure it said recipe before anything else because I thought,
Yeah.
That could have been crazy.
NHS website's gonna come up.
You know
with all
what?
that.
I know there's international fans here watching, thinking, "What are they talking about?" Now you've got clarity.
Yeah,
Just so everyone knows,
so
everyone knows, I'm not just on some madness. Like someone said, "What kind of meal deal you buying?" It's like that got served to us in schools, man.
Yeah,
100%. Horrible.
Yeah. All I know, like I said to you, this is a crucial week for me. This is going to be a crucial week. I think everybody's just got to have their notifications on, and you'll hear a lot in this coming weeks. You know what I mean? In the next week before the Euros, you'll find out a decision has been made. I don't see them going into the Euros and not having a decision being made. He's come back from holiday. He's going to be told, yo, listen, kick back at home, read a few books, and we'll let you know when to come back into work. And then, like I said to you, they'll make their decision. They'll announce the sacking, and then they'll announce the manager. That's my kind of thought process to what they're going to do. Sack him, then announce him straight away. I reckon maybe like the next day, the next morning.
Do you think a decision will be made so we'll know about Ten Hag's future before the Euros? Bear in mind,
Yes.
Okay. No,
Yes,
I agree with you. That's why I thought.
The fact that this got leaked out now, you know what I mean? They've only got to rush the process now even more. Had this not come out today and the meeting and whatnot, then obviously it would have looked like, yo, we've not heard anything. They've done well in making sure nothing has come out to the media. And today we heard a little bit of a murmuring, and everyone latched onto it, and it all was panic stations, etc., etc. But then as soon as that happened, boom, they're going to be like, right, okay, cool. We've put something out there now. It's been leaked, right? We now have to move now and make sure this is done now. Ten Hag, come into a meeting, P45, see you later, and then go, move on. He can move on respectfully and then go ahead. But also, if you remember, they wouldn't have announced anything after the FA Cup. It was, bro, people were talking about the FA Cup a week after. It was still raw. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they were like, you know what? We don't need to do anything right now because the fan base are a bit emotional. I think Man United are the most emotional fan base there is, man. I'm one of them. There's a lot of people who are emotional. They invested in United.
They are, and
they know.
INEOS have to be clear, and that's
biggest club in the world, you know. Biggest club in the world.
INEOS need to get away from that. That's why I'm not, even though, like, yeah, all right, it should have been done the Monday after. I said this. They can't be there making decisions based off of emotion. You're paid extremely well to make clear-cut, logical decisions. Your job, wherever you're at in that hierarchy, is to do what's best for Manchester United Football Club, which is not moving off emotion. Emotional decisions never work out. They're not like, that's not a good that's not a good feeling to have whilst making a decision, especially decisions of this magnitude. That can really be like, if they get this wrong, this could impact us for the next 2, 3, 4, maybe longer years, depending on what manager you miss out, what players you potentially could lose, what players you could potentially miss out on coming to the club because you got the manager wrong, etc. So there's so many things. That's why they need to just be, I don't like the method, but if they get the right result, I'll forgive the method. What's the result of it? As much as I don't like how long the process has been and how long this period's been, if they sack Ten Hag and get in a decent manager, I'll go, hey, props, you lot going spot on. Cool.
Yeah, facts. 100%. Guys, it's 2.1k in the building, man. Please get us up to 1,000 likes. We actually originally wanted 500 likes, but we could get it up to 1,000 likes, man. ASAP. So please do that. 100%.
Half you have to do your job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. All I'm hearing is bare excuses for INEOS. Listen, people can look at it that way, yeah, but ultimately, this is their first 6 months in the job. They've not done anything bad. All it is a lack of a decision. So it's not as if something they've done something wrong. They've not made a bad decision that's made you feel angry in a certain type of way. They've just not given you something to get angry about. You know what I mean?
Like, but a lack of action is still an action. A lack of action is still an action.
It is in a sense, but it's also a big action they got to make. So therefore, hence why the stumbling of announcing it. Because you remember, they give an inch to this media, bro, they're going to run with it. They want to make sure they've got this media on strings. And that's what they've done well. They've made sure that a lot of this media speculated to the point where a lot of them are not even incredible anymore, man. Like, seriously, a lot of these journalists now are looking so bad. Like, I'm looking at the state of English. They've actually exposed the state of English journalism in this country, generally, man. The fact that they've made up reports, the fact that they've just put 2 and 2 together and then said, this is happening. And if this happens, that manager will, like, bro, they've made them look like fools, man. And I'm glad they've done that.
You say that, though, Saeed, but then you're saying it's looking like it's Tuchel. Like, you're jumping on all these journalists.
I said if they had him as the only credible manager, I would have been calm with that. But I said there's also other managers that they are now looking at as well. There's 2 arguments to this. There's also other managers in there. But when they made the news come out today, I said if they're going to appoint him or Ten Hag staying, then I'll be like, cool. But there's actually layers to it. There's so many facets to it that we've got to be like, yo, okay, cool. Let's just find out. And I know it's taking a lot of time, but I'd rather wait for the right decision than wait for the wrong decision.
It's
simple. Go on, Double A. Go on.
I was just going to say that you spot on what you're saying. But for me, it's not a case of anything they've done bad. It's all underwhelming. To come in with bravado, right? And
it's not here yet.
A bravado of putting the Manchester back in Manchester United, the best in class and all that. For us to then be linked with the most underwhelming manager, and whether it's wrong or not, right? Whether it's totally made up, I guarantee some of these journalists are getting information from somewhere that's being linked that Southgate is appreciated. And maybe it's just because of the links, because of Ashworth or whatever. But the fact it's your name is linked to these, because Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea are not linked with the names we're being linked. I know Chelsea had Potter.
Chelsea had him.
Yes.
Tottenham had what's his name? My man, that Celtic. You know, the names are not going to be there anymore. I don't think we're going to be doing with names anymore, man. I'll be real with you. You're going to have to get projects, unfortunately. And De Zerbi is a good project.
But De Zerbi is the only shining light in a sea full of shit, Saeed, because the rest
who
of
else is out there United could have got? You tell me who United could have got this summer.
Any manager.
Who like you? Explain it.
Right, so you go and speak, before Juve jump in, you go and speak to Motta, you go and speak to Amorim, you go and speak to Holness, you go and speak to Nagelsmann before he signs a contract. You go and speak to Hansi Flick.
Hansi Flick, yeah.
You can't tell me that just because you're in a job, you can't speak to him and get him out of it. Because Liverpool got Arnie Slot out of Feyenoord. So now you're telling me you can't get. We got Ten Hag out of Ajax. So it doesn't have to be managers that are out of a job or have paid their own release clause to get them out of a job. You go and flex your muscles and you say, listen, we're INEOS. We think you're the man to lead us in this new direction.
Yeah, what if they don't fit their philosophy? What if they don't fit their philosophy of what they're trying to do? And they believe that they've got their own mind of what they want to do and they don't fit them.
Okay. So if that man is Southgate.
No, but then, again, you're only saying Southgate.
Yeah, so who then? So I've just given you manager. No. Because what you're doing is you're moving the goalposts. Because I give you managers who they should go and speak to. Then he's saying, "Oh yeah, but what if they're not the people they want?" Well, what the fuck? I don't know. Then I can't.
Okay. They've got a philosophy, right? They've got a philosophy that they want to do. You know what I mean? And the Amarin one, by the way, I think it would have been like, you know, I think he's got a release clause of like
about 20 million.
20 million.
20 million euros, 50 million.
Flick is the one I wanted, by the way. Flick is the one I wanted.
They were the two obvious.
Inzaghi was the one. Inzaghi was a dream. Let's be honest. Inzaghi was never leaving Inter Milan for Man United. That was a dream. But we got to be realistic now, man. Inzaghi was never leaving to Man United. I think they're looking at a project. They're saying, "Yo, right, cool. We've got a project, and it's the INEOS way." And we're gonna go by that. It's not gonna be the United way. I'm sorry. Sorry to be honest with you guys. It's never gonna be the United way. We're not gonna get managed that we want as fans. We're not.
No United way. United way is a myth, mate. It's a myth.
No, but I'm talking about the way that the fans want. The fans want this. The fans want that.
This is what I'm saying. Whatever the fans want is a myth.
There you go.
Yeah. For the fans, I'm with that. I'm with
that. You know what I mean?
It's a new regime. I'm with
I include myself in that in regards to it's too emotionally attached to it.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to.
So you're saying we all don't want Southgate, so then we should go for Southgate because Brailsford's his best mate.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm not saying that. No, you know why? Because here's the crazy part is Ash, and you know what? I'll state this now when it comes to Southgate. As much as everyone's dead against it, if it happens, you'll see Manchester United fans get on board with it. Same way,
there'll be loads, but it should never be the case, and he's taking us nowhere. But
yeah, the point I'm making is that's why I say fuck the fans. Because as soon as someone puts on the Manchester United shirt as a player or is employed by Manchester United, people act like it's the super soldier serum from Marvel. People act like it's the Black Panther suit or the Iron Man suit, and instantly you get better, and it doesn't work like that. I watched it last summer with Mason Mount. He was dead against Mason Mount. Nobody, I didn't see anybody anywhere call for Mason Mount. We got linked to him and signed him, and it was, Ten Hag knows what's best. He knows better than you. Maybe we can get the best out of Mason Mount, return out, and then look what happened. Manchester United fans, we are fiends. Too many of our fan base. We will get behind it. As long as you're selling it, we will buy it. That's legit what it is.
Yeah.
Selling, they can sell certain Manchester United fans anything.
They sold Ten Hag to us. We bought into it. They
could sell Manchester United fans anything as long as it has the Manchester United badge on it. They'll buy into it.
Problem is flawless. We're so desperate to get into the club looking sharp next to City and Liverpool. We're going Berry New Road and we're just buying anything that looks like it. Do you know what I mean? We're just buying anything that looks legit and it's not.
I hear you. And to the guy who initially said it was like, "Oh, bare excuses for INEOS." It's not. It's like it's just looking at it from what they've done. The only issue I have with INEOS, so bear in mind, I didn't want them in the first place, so I have to reiterate that. But the only issue I have is the amount of time they've took to make this decision. Everything else they've done has surprised me. Like I say, bringing in Barado, bringing in Wilcox, Dan Ashworth. What have we asked for the longest? Footballing people in regards to the structure. They have done that. Therefore, I have to give them credit for that. Because if they went and got Ed Woodward's mate and John Murtaugh's mate, we'd all be sitting here being critical, and so would the fans in the chat and everybody else, and rightfully so. So it's the one thing against them. But like I said, what is the result of this? If the result is right, I won't mind the method. All right, maybe the method's a bit messy, but did you get the right result?
Yep. Facts. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to, man. I think for me, I think everyone's looking at INEOS, innit? They're looking at them. They're thinking, right, what's going on? By the way, did anyone think about Ten Hag? Like, I think he needs to go, man. I don't know what he's doing as well, man. I would walk if I was him, man. Like, bro, you gotta have some respect for yourself, man. Like, genuinely, man. If man are talking about your job, and you're still lurking around.
I've never heard such like proper reverse psychology in my life.
No, but it's true though, because you
if
know what
Ten
it's
Hag
today,
was an alpha, I would definitely.
bro. I see some people today on the timeline here saying, "Yo, man, this is beautiful, man. Ten Hag staying and whatnot." I said, "Bro, do you realize like man's job's on the line, yeah, and it's you're finding out your job's being taken over." I would have some self-respect to leave, man.
Nah, he's waiting for the payout though, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He knows he's most likely getting sacked.
Get the payout
He knows he's getting that big bumper payout.
You are finding out your partner is not only trying to leave you, but they are doing it on national TV. They are going on embarrassing bodies, for example, or they going on a show. Yeah, but you're gonna get a big payout. Like legit, that's what it is. They are interviewing somebody else for your job.
Mutual agreement.
That goes to show how much they don't.
How much was Poch's payout?
Big money. It was big money, wasn't it?
Was it big money?
That's why he got a decent amount. I could be wrong.
What's say 10 Hags? I want to say it's around 7 million. I've heard rumors.
7 million, it's around that. It's around that. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening publicly as well. Broski, that's crazy, man.
It's Manchester United. It always does. This is the problem. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, has it?
Yeah, but also, nothing can ever be right, though. And nothing can ever be... Like, when someone else is taking your job, it's never nice anyway. You know, it's never going to be nice. Nothing's ever going to be nice in life. You know what I mean? Like, it's a brutal reality.
Yeah, but when
you know, it's you know, isn't it? Like,
the thing is, does it have to be in the news that INEOS are doing an X Factor style auditions for every manager that's free at the minute? Do you know what I mean? Pressing the big gold button for Tuchel. Oh, yes. Do you know what I mean? Going to the judges' houses and all that nonsense. It doesn't have to be that way. So,
but also, yes, because they never hired him. They never hired.
It doesn't have to be this public thing that INEOS.
It's not public though, is it? It's something that they're doing their due diligence by, in it. You know what I mean? But what people got to realize, they never hired him. They have no responsibilities for this brother.
Everyone's been twerking on the timeline all week, not knowing what they're coming or going. Tuchel in, Tuchel out, Tuchel's coming, Tuchel's not coming. It's massively public, and that's the problem every single time. Listen,
I don't think Ten Hag's trolling through TikTok though or Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's on social media, man.
I'm telling you now, he's a type of guy that doesn't leave social media, man.
But you don't think he's told by his agency?
You know how I know he's on socials or he's got his ear to it? Did he not send shots at social? Did he not call us? What was it? Social media managers? So he knows better than people on social media. He said something along those lines.
That was down to the journalist that was speaking in the
but the point I'm making is he took shots. Like, don't get mistaken.
Okay.
He might not be, you know what I'm saying, like on socials, but he's not. He's fully aware. That's why you're saying that. When he's on social media, he's like, that's
why hasn't he gone already though? If he's not INEOS's man, why has he not gone? Why was he not gone like 5 days after? Next week, but they're looking at it and look at the groundswell of like public opinion behind him and trying to back him this past couple of weeks. Like, they surely must have been aware that was going to happen after him winning the FA Cup. Like, there was going to be a large section of the United fan base with letters coming out and, you know, all the support and all former players coming out and backing him and stuff like that. So it's only made them look even more stupid if they go on to sack him. Do you know what I mean? From like a public opinion point of view. So the idea that potentially they are going to sack him, as each day goes on, it gets lesser and lesser, and it's worrying. I've got to be honest, it's worrying.
It ties back into what I said, Ash, when you said there about why is he not gone? Because I don't believe everybody in the hierarchy wants him gone. I believe there is about everybody's not on the same page, whether that's INEOS versus the Glazers or whether that's people within INEOS at the top. I decided, let's say Barada and someone else is like, let's get rid of him. And then you got two others who are saying, no, we want to keep him. That's where I think this is the only delay we've had within the staff. Everything else, I go back to what I said at the start, has been done swiftly and quickly. Everybody we've brought in, it's been swift. Buying is Dan Ashworth, but he got identified. Everybody we've got rid of, literally from top to bottom. I've heard about cuts at lower down levels, like restaurant staff and things of that nature, kitchen staff, things of that. So it's like, I've literally heard about these things. I know people that work there. So but yet with the manager, which is so important, there's been a delay. I genuinely think there's pushback, and this ties back into 25%. My Don Kaneki says it all the time. You can't own 25% of a car. You can't own 25% of a house. What happens when there is some conflict and there is some pushback? Who wins and how does it get resolved? This is why I wanted a 100% sale, because then we know who to blame. If INEOS had 100% control, we know why Ten Hag is still there. Same way if it's the Glazers, same way if it was Sheikh Jassim, same way if it was someone else. We don't know exactly who the boss is on these decisions.
And this is it. And we'll let, you know, reporters want to tell you, oh yeah, Sir Jim has got all the football side. That's all on him. Clearly not. And I, for one, have never believed that the egos, not even the egos, just the ego that is Joe Glazer, because he's the one that really does like to think he's the footballing god and wants to take us out of the Premier League, wants to start the Super League. You're telling me that ego's gone all of a sudden, and he's not wanting to get involved in. He's the reason why they didn't want the full sale, apparently, that we were led to believe as well.
He was the pushback.
Yeah, this is everyone else wanted to get rid, and him and the one that looks like a mole rat didn't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, and this is why I like you, Flawless. The 100% sale is the only thing I've ever wanted, and this partnership, if you want to call it that, it's only going to lead to problems. And if it's delaying issues like what we're seeing now and prolonging this agony that a lot of fans are going through, personally for myself, I've taken myself out of it. I can't allow myself to get all bothered about.
You don't have to, trust me.
In and out. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is going to happen, and we have to live and accept it. If it is Southgate, it's Southgate. But if it is Southgate, I expect us to riot. Don't get me wrong. If that gets announced,
of course,
I expect a riot.
But he'll be gone by October, so it's minor. You know what I mean? So,
it worries me. It worries me that something's so important, because I've said this first summer under INEOS is probably one of the biggest in 20 years for Manchester United, because a lot needs to happen to set us back on track, whether that's the manager, whether that's the players going out, players coming in, Barada, Wilcox, Ashworth coming in and starting.
Once it's pieced together, oh my days, United fans should be excited. Once it's pieced together, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth, you got INEOS there. Like, generally, it's an exciting time when
you hope, mate, because let's
you know what I mean?
Let's not forget.
Everyone's thinking a bit doom and gloom.
But let's not forget what they've done at Nice and the shit show over there.
Yeah, mate. But Nice is Nice, don't dominate, man.
What do you mean? What do you mean Nice is Nice?
Nice
the stakes are higher at United. The stakes are higher and the pressure's more.
No, but I get that. But
from that, what makes you think they're going to get it right here?
No, but they've also bought more credible people than Nice anyway. They didn't really have an Omar Barada. They didn't have a guy who's done unbelievable at Man City, whether you like Man City or not. They haven't had Jason Wilcox, who's been excellent in the recruitment system for so long in England. They haven't had Dan Ashworth, who's got the record he has. You know what I mean? They haven't had that in Nice. And they're at a place where they know their level. Man United, you can aspire to be better. You can't aspire to be better at Nice because PSG always win everything. If you look at the TV deals, PSG have the best TV deal in the French league. Everyone else, the kind of level and the disparity is crazy. You know, at United, you're getting greater opportunities. Therefore, INEOS have a greater success rate than they do have at Nice. So it will be better at United. And you have more credible people.
Someone said it, yeah, true, but the Glazers are still here, mate. Never forget.
Yeah, but the Glazers still here. But the problem is, though, we know that.
I think you're throwing. You're throwing your eggs. You're throwing all your eggs in INEOS basket, mate. You twerk a little bit for INEOS. You twerk a little bit for INEOS.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not. I'm just trying to. You know what I'm doing? I'm separating the facts from the emotion. No. I'm separating the facts from the emotional.
The flowers are going to bloom. No. We're saved. Bro,
no, because I haven't had football structure at United for so long, so I can't be negative about it. We've had no football structure for so long.
But I agree. But what you're saying is that they're going to come in straight away, and because these people.
No, I never said that. No. What I've said is no, but the way you're saying is you're kind of coming like they've not really done anything. It's not working. I said at Nice, you said what have they done at Nice, but they haven't brought in the same people from Nice to here. They brought in different people.
They had the chance to, and it's not, and shit's gone wrong.
Where?
Everything's gone wrong there. I'm saying they haven't.
Yeah, but you've got to understand how the league's run, though. If you understand how that league's run, you understand.
They were still trying to do the best at Nice, though. They were still trying to do the best at Nice.
They sacked 5 managers in 5 years. If they didn't sack 5 managers in 5 years, they would not have cared about the club. They sacked 5 managers in 5 years.
Did he not let anyone?
They hired a new sporting director as well.
I do like to fix things. Yeah, I get what Double A is saying in regards to the whole Nice situation, because yes, you can't just use that and say they will definitely fail at Manchester United, but you can. I know you're not saying that. That's the only evidence we had. Because if they were super successful at Nice, we'd be using that in the pro column. Same way if they were super unsuccessful, and let's say Nice underachieved or got relegated or whatever the case may be, we'd use. So I look at Nice and go, you haven't done a great job there. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do a bad job here. And so far, you have actually made good decisions. However, it ties back into the original thing or Double A. I didn't want them here in the first place. I didn't want him here in the first place.
But you could separate the two though, you know. You could say you didn't want them, but you could understand that if they're bringing in football people, it could be a benefit.
I give them,
to United.
they've surprised me what they did. When the way they brought in Omar Barad and how it was done on the Raps, I'm like, cool. Even the fact there's no leaks anymore. Even the fact that we're here and the majority, 99%, even the biggest journalists are merely speculating. We get linked. There's a new favorite for the Manchester United job every day we wake up. Whether it's Southgate, then it's Frank, then it's Tuchel, then it's the Zerbi, and so forth and so forth. And so I like what they've done. But again, make the decision. All of this is from them. But if they get to the right result, I won't mind the method.
Also, as well, because you're mentioning PSG and the league and that's nothing to do with what I'm saying. Because you can still run a club well, and that team can still compete all the time. They're not competing. They don't look like a team that competes or look like they ran well at all. And I'm not saying that they've not learned from that. I'm not saying that they're not going to change.
Where did you expect these to be? Where did you expect these to be?
But they should be. They should.
You've even got players coming out though. Players are coming out. Say like Dante's come out in the post and say less talk, more action and all that.
I heard that.
It's a warning.
This year they finished.
It's a warning that
they finished.
They messed up that cycle team as well.
They finished 5th in the league. They're in the Europa League, I think, this year.
Were they challenging at one point? Weren't they like top?
Yeah,
three?
but they were overachieving though. They were overachieving, and they found out where they really are. You know what I mean? That's the reality of the situation. They were overachieving. The season after that season last year, they finished 9th.
They finished 9th this season. Yeah, the 9th season before.
But one thing you can say, and you back Saeed on this, is it can't get any worse than what we've been
the
last 5-6 years.
Yeah. Okay. They finished 5th the season before that. Season before that, they finished 9th. So they are where they're meant to be.
And the season before that, they were 5th.
So there you go.
No. What do you mean? No. What do you mean they are where they're meant to be? Where's the progression then? Why is he not putting in to progress the team to get them higher? So he's just happy to be.
No, he's not happy to be there. But you got to remember, in the league,
that doesn't show me their project.
That
don't show me that they're trying to get better, and that's a project. Then that shows me that we'll give up. I'm not.
Really that's why they've made mistakes in the managers. They've made mistakes in the managers. Hence why they've sacked managers and whatnot. But you got to remember as well, like Nice were never ever. I think before they came, they never really finished as high as. I don't know where their finish was before Nice came over.
Was it 5 years they've been at?
I don't know. They came in 1920. So the 18-19 season, they were 7th.
Yeah.
17-18, they were 8th. You know what I mean? So
before 16-17, they were 3rd.
They finised 3rd. Yeah, they finished 3rd. That was their best season.
4th. And then 14,
so that tells me that he's done. No. I'm just saying that tells me he's done fuck all with him then. And I'm not saying again. I'm not bothered about that. That's not. I'm just saying it's a warning that when they come in, I can't jump on this whole. He's brought Barada. He's brought Ashford. I know it's going to take time, but what I'm saying is, Nice should be a warning that. He's not got a great record, has he, in sports? He's not got.
No. I think for me, the problem is, I get when people say Nice is whatever stuff, but Nice also are not Man United in terms of the way their mindset is. It's like the whole De Zerbi comments. Do you remember what De Zerbi said? Did you see what De Zerbi said? He said it's something about trophies or whatnot. He could never get away with saying that Man United.
I don't know.
Same way with Brighton. The Brighton owner said their aim is to not win trophies because it's Brighton. You know what I mean? Their aim is to kind of stay level, is to kind of keep afloat, is to manage their income, is to stay in the Premier League. Everyone has priorities. It's going to be brutal to hear that we're not here to win. It's going to be brutal for the fans to hear that. But also what's brutal is being in the Championship like Middlesbrough. What's brutal is being like a Cardiff City that might not make it to Premier League in a while. You see the reality of getting out of the Premier League. You see how bad it is. So the reality is sometimes the teams are like, you know what? We're just going to stay in the Premier League. We're gonna try and aim for Europe and try and finish high as we can. But this idea of becoming a club like this, sometimes it might not work. And that's where Nice have said, you know what? This is probably our level. Get Europa League, get whatever it is, and that's where we're going to remain. Is it what you want to hear? Probably not. But ultimately, United's got different standards. Totally different standards.
And that's my point. Because there's more expectation. So
yes,
which
is hence why they brought in bigger people.
The jeopardy is
which is why they brought in Omar Barada.
Right, and that's great. But what I'm saying is their record in sport is not great, and that worries me a little bit. So I'm not going to start just backing them and jumping and twerking for them like a lot of people do.
What other sports are in there? What other sports have you seen them do?
The Sky Cycle team they've messed up.
Yeah, collapsed under them.
Yeah, collapsed under them.
Were they a major sponsor in that, or they were just?
I think it was they owned it. They owned it. That was their team, and they were good at one point. You know,
I don't know about
Cavendish and all that. They had, they were decent at one point. And I'm not, listen, everyone's like going to start saying, oh, you look at your negative against. I'm not. What I'm saying is, me as a fan,
no guarantee, is it?
No, and I'm just apprehensive about what is to come, and this whole prolonging stuff, and it's just not good. And I'm just waiting for them to start everything to start properly, but we need to start now, and that's the whole thing about United. And
but I think your frustrations
is we need to start now because it's such an important thing.
No, but I'll be honest with you. I think your frustrations are clouding your judgment on and perspective of where Man United are at the minute. I get it, you're frustrated, Double A. Don't get me wrong, but I understand. You got to understand that they have to start from somewhere. They are now doing their due diligence. They've got people coming in charge. Like right now, you're just seeing the fruits of what they're gonna do. At the minute, right now, it doesn't look great that they haven't got a manager, but they're not rushing because, no disrespect, but Double A wants a manager in right now, or saying that I want a manager right now. They're not going to do that. They're not here for the fans at this minute. They're here themselves.
You think I'm saying they need to rush everything and this? No, I'm not saying that. But they've been here since February, and it can't take. Like I said at the start of the show, it can't take from February to now.
But they never thought about the manager since February, though. Let's be honest. They had their due. I reckon they probably thought.
Come on, Saeed.
No, but are you telling me they thought about it since February?
Bro, you're saying his job's
not back him in January. They didn't back him in January.
You're saying his job's not been under threat since January.
No, I'm saying in terms of actual due diligence of talking to managers. I'm talking about it's been the last couple of weeks where they've been seriously looking at the credible managers involved. Before that, they were getting in Omar Berrado. They were sorting out all the kind of club. They were getting Omar Berrado. They got in Jason Wilcox. They're now getting what do you call it, Dan Ashworth. They've been kind of looking at the recruitment. Look at the way they've been taking out people from their jobs. Everybody's been leaving. They started the football club from the foundations and then slowly got to the manager. That's all I'm saying to you. They haven't just gone from the manager. We're coming in, we're getting rid of the manager. No, they went from the top and then went slowly down to the manager. That's what I'm saying. There's been a process.
The thing is, though, Saeed, as good as that is to get them people in, and as much as it was for me, I'll always say it, they were tap-ins to get them people in. The manager's the most important thing.
They weren't tap-ins, though. They weren't tap-ins, though, was it? No, hardly tap-ins.
They were because we didn't have them. So you bring them in. As good. No.
Again, you're being disingenuous now. How is Omar Berrada tapping when they got it from Man City?
No. I'm not saying getting him was a tap-in. I'm saying getting the
footballing
position filled with footballing people are tap-ins.
They're not, though. They're not tap-ins, though. How are they tap-ins? You're telling me Jason
I think you're arguing two different things. No, because Saeed, you're talking about the quality of the people they're bringing in. That is not tapping. Double A saying, he's saying, Double A saying, just bringing in a director of football who is a director of football is a tapping.
But I know, but then there's one further point of actually getting
the level of him. The level of him,
the best in class.
Yeah, exactly, and that's good.
Yeah,
bro, you could have gone and got Doncaster Rovers director of football in, and that is a tapping above what we already had because they were terrible. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Shout out to you know what? There's a Doncaster Rovers fan who's mad.
Yeah, I love
Doncaster Rovers.
I love Doncaster. Yeah. Big place.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, innit? Like I think for me, yes, the appointment of like who they're getting, but they also had to get rid of the people that were there as well. They said, "Yo, my man, you're gone," and then Myrtle, you're gone. They took a lot of the deadwood out, but if you actually look at the people that have come in as well, like them man there, they're credible people. Jason Wilcox. Omar Berrado, they're credible people. And I'm actually, and it's exciting times.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But as fans, we're all impatient and we all want things as quick as we can get them in. What I'm frustrated at is after we've just won the FA Cup, why are we still talking about this now? Because for me, it should have been done before that because his job, as soon as he couldn't get Champions League, his job should have been in jeopardy. From doesn't matter what competition we're in. Because fluking an FA Cup, he shouldn't keep a man in his job, and that's the bottom line.
But you know what though, a lot of people have flip flopped on that one, man. They said, "Yo, keeping a guy in his job because of the FA Cup is a reason to keep him." I think that's crazy.
It's one game,
but man, a lot of people have flip flopped, man. A lot of people, man.
Again, you know what I mean? Before,
a lot of people.
We have one of the most emotional fan bases. and then we are surprised that they've made an emotional decision after an emotional game, and the emotion of winning the FA Cup and beating Manchester City, etc. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew, like, legit. You know how we all knew it was on the horizon because it was a question before the final. I'm sure all three of you was getting asked before the final, whether it's people on your platforms or you seen it on socials or people in real life saying, "Oh, well, if Ten Hag wins the FA Cup," I remember hearing it before the semi-final when we got Drew. Oh yeah, so would you keep him if he wins the FA Cup?
I said no.
Yeah, because you're sensible. But the point I'm making is people already had that in their mind where, oh, if he wins the FA Cup, I'll give him another chance, 2 trophies in 2 years, and just dismissing and blanking out everything else. We was in 4 competitions and failed horrendously in 3. I'm not saying you win all 4 because that's outrageous. Yeah, we was horrendous. People forget horrendous in the Champions League. It's not like we just went out in the semi-finals or the quarterfinals. Horrendous in the Premier League. Worst place finish ever. Minus goal difference. Carabao Cup, the way we went out to a Newcastle C team, which had like no centre-backs and like 6 full-backs. And a player who hadn't played in a year. And they embarrassed us on our home turf. All right.
Yep. It's mad. It's true.
Palace who beat us? No, yeah, we beat Palace. It was Newcastle who beat us, so I was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Got super chat here. Big up Daniel with Stanley and Stuart out. He's a member for a month. Thank you. I don't know if you were meant to say something in there, but big up to you. Big up Jenna Treat says all this mental gymnastics. Zerbi been free this whole time and no mention approach. INEOS are frauds. Man United only club not to make a decision on a manager yet. Again, this idea of fraud is mad. Just because they don't make a decision.
Yeah, I can't call them fraud. And let's say De Zerbi's not. We can't say De Zerbi's been free the whole time. So that's like, what if De Zerbi's not their guy? We're speculating that it is. I think he is, but he might not be.
Yeah, just because he's available don't mean we have to jump on him.
Again,
and it jumps on that whole. If these don't fit the model that they want, then that's
and that's what happened to Tuchel. That's what I believe has happened to Tuchel. Yeah. They have believed that he's not the right guy, and they said respectfully, let's go both our own ways. And all of a sudden, he's now having a break, man. You know what I mean, bro? Man's having a break.
He's got to have a break. We were the only show in town. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get in a relationship, and we were the only person in town. And I was like, I gotta take a break. Yeah, you gotta go be single now.
Yeah, go be single, man. You know what I mean? Go enjoy that life, bro. Man, taking a break.
You gotta enjoy the bachelor life.
He's like, yo, listen, Tuchel, I don't know where you're going next, but brother, if you're having a break because you got rejected by INEOS, yeah, man, that's crazy.
Because thinking about it, there's no other jobs out there for him currently now because of his resume. Will other teams go and get him? Yeah, and they'll get another top job. Somebody will go in for Tuchel again.
Daddy will. I think he's a credible guy, but I'm just saying, like, bro, man got rejected and said, yo, I'm taking a break just to make it look like he didn't get rejected. You know, I don't know. Someone like, I don't know. What's that kind of excuse when you make when you say like, yo, like, man didn't get rejected in it, right? She weren't feeding me in it. Man didn't get rejected. Like,
didn't like her anyway. Yeah,
didn't like her anyway.
You know what I mean? Like, didn't really like her anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she's butters anyway.
Yeah, she's butters anyway.
I don't even like tens. Get away, man.
Yeah, man. That's what Tuchel did.
Yeah.
He's probably briefed.
But who's he getting rejected in favour of though? That's the worrying thing. Because like we keep saying, De Zerbi should have happened.
They won't tell him, no, Ash. They won't tell him. They'll just say to him, yo, we're going to interview other people. We'll let you know what I go on. And he said, nah, listen, man. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm not feeling it. And then obviously they felt, yeah, cool. Then let's just separate our ways. You know, we've got things that we agree on. We've got things we don't agree on. And then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, there was this brief about improving players today, but I never really believed any of that shit, man.
All he mentioned was Rudiger.
Rudiger. Yeah. Apparently Rudiger. Again, that was lazy journalism for me personally. I big up Mikhail Johnson. Thank you very much. INEOS is moving to a club dictator model. Big managers don't want that. Hence, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Bayern's appointments. Tuchel left Bayern job and they were denied by 4. Tuchel would not sign up for Man United. But again, you're only looking at one side of the argument, Mikhail. What about the other side where INEOS have made a very, very rigorous kind of plan, and they said, yo, if you got to follow this, you know, and if you don't follow that way, then they can see that he's not best fit for the job. You got to remember, they've got the keys to the door, like, you know what I mean? Like, Tuchel right now has no, you know what I mean, like, no leverage on INEOS, nothing. What's he got? Like, let's be honest. He's won the Champions League, but right now, he's the one begging for the job. INEOS are not telling him, yo, we need you. They're going to give him an interview, but we don't start as they need you right now. So you can look at it both ways. quickly, before we go, I wanted to talk about the Luke Shaw thing. By the way, 2.1K in the building. Please like the video, man. Everybody, right now, let's get 1,000 likes if you can. I'll be amazing, man. Amazing. INEOS says, Saeed, your GTA show an American accent was a joke. I'm telling you, broski. I believe Saifka is Ineos' guy. Why you them not mentioning Potter? We did mention Potter. I don't know when you never came in, but yeah, we did mention Potter. Yeah. And
it was 4 no's. So
I think that's why. Because 1, I don't think Ineos want him, and 2, I don't want him. So that's why. That's why Potter don't really get mentioned until someone a reliable sort of Fabrizio mentions Potter, then he'll get more airtime.
I think that's it. That's it. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, this Luke Shaw thing. Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen it yesterday. Yeah, but I think was it Fabrizio?
Calling out the manager.
Yeah, about the manager on the system. Bro, you know what, man? I can't lie to you guys, man. I'm tired of this guy, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, get this guy gone, man. I'm seriously, I don't give a shit about this guy, that fault, man. Just get him gone, man. But he's got a new contract, and it is what it is. But basically, he said this, right? He said, it's kind of everyone's fault. Partly my fault, partly medical stuff. I think everyone will admit that. I felt something against Aston Villa and came off half-time. The scan came back and there wasn't too much there, but I didn't train all week, then trained the day before the game. If the manager asked me to play, I'm never going to say no. I shouldn't have played, which I predicted anyway, and everyone here predicted he should not have played. He got rushed back, you know what I mean? But, bro, listen, man. You know what I mean, bro? I swear down, bro.
So that sounds to me, I'm not defending Ten Hag because I think they almost did similar to Casemiro when he did.
He did. He went to Spain. Rushed him back. Yeah.
He went to Spain. He actually found the problem. Sounds like Shaw's not done that. Ten Hag's gone, are you fit to play? And Shaw's gone, yeah. Double check, innit? Do you due diligence? To me, and it's shift blame, shift blaming and all that for me. Listen. Shaw's been here 10 years, and he's
10 years.
Another inconsistent player. He's always injured. He would have got injured anyway, so it doesn't really matter about when he got injured. He was always going to be injured. Like you said, Saeed, we want to get rid. We're never going to get rid. Signed a new contract on big money. No one will take him anyway because he's unreliable. We're stuck with him.
But we're stuck with him. But you know what we're stuck with more for, though? Is the fact that he'll go in a bit of form and then everyone will call him Luke Roberto Carlos here. And then after that, he'll get injured. And then it's like, you know what I mean, bro? Like,
also, why are you saying it? Why are you saying it? In what way do you think saying that makes anyone come out looking good? Yourself, the medical team, the club, the manager. No one of that. It all looks like
you did he come out?
You all look like you got a fucking clue what any of you are doing.
Where did you do the interview?
I've got a clue.
Does anybody know where the interview came from? Because that's a bit of a weird one. Do you know what I mean? Let me know, guys, where it came from. And Big Cal has come back with a super chat saying, didn't expect a big name manager with this club model unless the model changes. Don't expect traditional managers. Yeah, I think that's the case, man. You're going to get these new head coaches as
well, that's the way. But the thing is, that's the way that football's going in the modern day game.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, that's everyone. Pep don't have complete 100% control like Manchester City. There's players that City have gone in for that he has not got. Did they not go in for Declan Rice in that game? For example, did they not go in for Cucurella in that game? Yeah, like, that's just 2 off the top. I'm sure there's more names as well, but that's just 2 players off the top of my head.
Yeah,
like what are we talking about here?
There you go.
Like, of course, like, so yes, like, managers have to work with. There's no more your sole control now. You have an element of control, which you should. If you're a smart manager, you negotiate. You shouldn't have players given to you. You should have some form of input. But this ties into being on the same page as whatever club you're going to and having a style that fits with your style. Because then you're going to be on the same page anyway. You're going to want the same profile of player. It shouldn't be a names thing. Because we can all sit here and pick players for Pep. The easiest job in the world.
Yeah.
I have to do too much scouting.
I worry about this idea of project managers, though, because you look over the last 10, 20 years, there's never been a project manager won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? They've always had a bit of heritage and a bit of class and history behind them. So this idea of project managers, it's just an idea. That's all it is. It's never been proven until Arteta wins or someone comes into the Premier League who's a project manager comes and wins this Premier League. We've never seen it. It's never happened. And who's to say it's ever going to happen? Do you know what I mean? In the last couple of years, we've seen managers like Ranieri, like Conte, like Klopp, all got pedigree, all got history, all come and won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So this idea of project managers, I'm not too bought into it, and I'm not too sold on it. I'd prefer like a proven, like the dream scenario, and I know there's no chance of it, but someone like an Inzaghi or even an Amorim who's been proven to win a league title over at Sporting after them not winning the league for 19 plus years. A manager with a little bit of heritage, a little bit of history. These project managers like De Zerbi, and as much as he plays great football, he's never been there toward the end of a season under the mega pressure and having felt what that is like under the spotlight. And same with the likes of Southgate, Potter, etc. You know what I mean? So the idea of project managers, I'm not sold on them yet. I'm not sold on them.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying with that, because the thing is with project managers, people act like you can't have success in a project. That's why I don't have the whole project manager. Like, success can be, you can be processing towards something and get someone who hasn't maybe achieved the highest of the highs in regards to trophy, but still being successful and winning things.
Yeah.
What the word project has done, project manager, or it's a project, alleviates you of any form of target. Any form of responsibility. There's no pressure like, oh, we finished second.
It's true.
Well, it's a part of the project. We finished third. It's a part of the project. Like, no, there has to be some form of target. What's the objective? Like, that's what it's like. I said that's why Amorim would have been my first choice. Because to your point, Ash, we've never seen a manager come here and win a Premier League or a Champions League without having won something previously. The only exception to that rule is Di Matteo. That's it. Him and Sarri actually are the only two managers in Premier League history to go to a Big Six club and have not won anything prior, and the first trophy they win is here. That's my biggest issue with it, De Zerbi, because I don't want you to come to Manchester United and the first time you're under circumstance to win a trophy is here, where the pressure is even more immense. Have won something, and it don't necessarily have to be a Premier League or a domestic league or a Champions League. Europa League will do. Your version of the FA Cup, your country's version of the Carabao Cup, somewhere, whether that's Spain, Italy, France, etc. So I get what you're saying.
Yep, facts, 100%. But yeah, going back to the Shaw thing, man. Listen, man. I think for me, the whole medical department has been exposed anyway. We all get that, but ultimately, the idea of players getting rushed back, that was also something that for me was awful. But I'm just kind of like, yo, listen, we moved on Varane because he was injury prone. We've moved on Martial because he was injury prone. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it a buck, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to get rid of Luke Shaw. But again, who's gonna go buy him? He's lucky that he signed a contract just before INEOS came. I think he signed it. I think last year, was it, or something like that?
Last season, wasn't it? Yeah.
Was it last season? Yeah. So he signed it. Obviously, INEOS took their time with obviously announcing it, and Glazers obviously whatever. Yeah. But reality is that he's the one of the few that's got a contract. That's why Bruno Fernandes ain't getting a contract, because INEOS are like, yo, nobody ain't getting nothing, bro. Like, we're not gonna do anything right now, and that's why he's saying to his agent, yo, go and flirt with other clubs. You ain't getting no 300k. That is another thing that's been a mess at this football club, is the wages. Luke Shaw, right now, I think his current wages are, was it 190? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? When you're looking at that and you're thinking to yourself, right, hold on a minute. How many games does he play in a season? Let's look at Luke Shaw's actual appearances season on. Let me just look here now.
It's got to be gone, though, Saeed. Do you know what I mean? It's
look.
The idea that he's still got seasons with Man United. It's madness.
So in the Premier League, he's got 12. Last year was his best one, actually. 31, 20, 32, 24, 29, 11, 11, 5, 16. You know what I'm saying to you? I think he's got more injuries for Man United than Martial had in the last, I think, how many years? You know what I mean? Varane's been more fit than him as well. He's 29 this summer. You know what I mean, bro? Like, he is literally breaking down, and people don't realize it. Like, you know,
and it's only going to realize
it, man.
It's only going to get worse. Obviously,
it's only going to get worse.
Let's not forget when he come, the potential to be probably
of course
an amazing left back, and it was, you know, horribly taken from him with that horrendous leg break against PSV, and you know, it's such a shame. But we can't live with this. What could have been and sentiment of the football club. And you know, the wrongs that happen at Manchester United pre-INEOS are kicking them in the ass much as they're kicking us in the ass, because he signed that contract and now we are stuck with him. And I think someone's asking you to read that super chat about I think it's about would you keep him?
Who's
would
that?
you keep him as a squad player?
Oh,
I
Sorry,
think,
Amino.
yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to keep him as a squad player because I don't think he's going anywhere.
Oh.
And as much as we as fans think players should be like, well, if he's not going to play and he becomes, I don't know, the 4th, 5th choice centre back, and we get in a left back and him and Malacia fight it out, so he's not even a left back anymore. He's a centre back that's 4th, 5th choice.
Yeah.
That would make him want to leave. As much as he might want to leave and Manchester United might want to get rid of him, who's going to buy him realistically? Who are you thinking in the Premier League that's going to pay a wage for him? Probably going to pay a fee to a decent fee for Manchester United that they would want. And who's going to take a risk on him that he's actually going to play? He's saying there, I think his most games is 34 or something like that in a season. I don't know what it was, but like he's a high risk signing, and at the age of 29, most clubs aren't going to do it. Most clubs aren't going to do it, and we are stuck again.
This deal? Sorry to cut you off.
He must have another.
He's got a long time, man.
3-4 years, easy.
Because he signed it. Yeah, when's the expiry? I just wanted to know that as you was talking.
2027. 2027.
Yeah, 3 years on it.
3 years.
But so would I keep him as a squad player? I think no. I would like to sell him, but looking at it realistically, I think we have to. I don't think there's any other way around it, because I don't trust that we'd find a buyer or he would want to go, really.
Because I think it's best case scenario is what you said there, double A, in regards to we actually sat, because I'm glad we've actually it's said we're looking at a left back. Like we want a left back. So him and Malacia battle it out, whoever the new left back is. Then Luke Shaw is 4th, 5th choice.
Malacia, if he's right.
Do we want to keep him around? No. But if he is 4th, 5th choice centre back, all right, cool. I think he would angle. Actually, would he angle for a move? Probably not, because Southgate's still going to pick him regardless. So he'll probably be cool. He'll probably cool not playing, knowing that he's going to play in the World Cup qualifiers or Euro qualifiers. And when England have a major tournament, so World Cup, Euros, or Nations League, he's going to play. He's there now. He hasn't played since, what was it, February, March? And yet he still made the England squad.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's best case. And that's the ruthlessness that INEOS need to have. They need to be that ruthless with these type of decisions where it's like, all right, you're still here. Even if we want to get rid of you and you can't get rid of you, you're not going to play. Because hopefully then encourages and motivates him to angle away for a move. But we'll see what going on.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Malacia, I don't listen. I worry about Malacia, man. I'll be real.
He was at the FA Cup final. He was there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about like the way he comes back. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna have to. He's gonna at least 6 months gonna take him to get back into. You know what I mean? Like
could be another Shaw, because obviously we don't know what's kept him out, and has that now stunted his progression for a year? Will he? Is this something serious that's gonna repeat and resurface throughout his career? You know, it could be a case that he might be finished at the club as well, or in terms of progression and growth and being a first team player. But you hope not, because I think there was enough in the first season for me that he looks like a decent enough squad player and developmental still. But to be out for a full season is massively worrying at that young age.
Massively.
But and I hear that. But what is a plus for us with that situation is Europa League. There are games he can play in. And they go to Europa League and there's more games because of the new format. Play him in 2 or 3 of those games and see where he's at. Because we shouldn't be playing actually it's Europa League. We're not going to be playing it against the greatest competition in there. So not only him, but others as well, we may have doubts. And that's the perfect for him, Akamba Wala, other youth players who may come through, etc. And just signings in general. I really think that's a competition you can utilize, especially in the new format.
Thing is, though, it's a trophy we can win, because we're not going to win the league.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Europa League. I can't lie, man.
But I hear you, but that's the last stages. I'm talking group stages.
Yeah.
It's the league format, because it's
we can win that, man.
Now.
We can win that.
I think is it not 8 games now? The first format. It's 8
is
matches.
It? I don't know. It's the same.
That's
Champions League. That's Champions League.
No, they changed the Europa League as well. They changed the Europa League.
Oh, so you got 8 games as well, same format.
Let me double check.
Same format.
Yo, okay. Yeah, man.
So it's like you got 8 games, and that's just
win that Europa League, man.
Do nice away trip,
man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Go to Europa League. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Until we get Nice, obviously.
Oh yeah, we drawing. Oh yeah, we drawing Nice.
But they're selling Nice though. They're saying that they're gonna sell Nice. There were some reports over the weekend that they're saying we're gonna sell Nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was right here. Yeah. The new format, the biggest change is the group stage, which will become a single 36-team league stage. Each side faces 8 different teams, 4 at home, 4 away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
the group stages.
Yeah, it's a group stage. I remember, of course, I'm saying prioritize the Europa League. What I'm saying is
also the Champions League teams don't drop down now.
They don't drop down either. Yeah, so of course people prioritize Europa League.
To be favourites.
That should be top of the list for the next manager this coming season. But you have 8 games. We're not going to be playing against the best of the best competition.
Do you have to play all 8 games to basically be qualified? Because surely if you qualify in, let's say, 5 or 6, then you don't have to play all 8. Like, is it
no,
one
you
of them?
Play all 8? No. It's definitely so. It's
and that will carry on until January. Then surely that will be until January.
It's all a mazel. It is 1 second.
Yeah, someone said the other day that the Champions League will be until January, not December, because of the extra 2 games.
Killing players, man. Honestly, it's only going to get worse.
Actually, having Ten Hag as manager,
you got a Club World Cup in the summer, aren't you, as well? Like
he's gonna play every single game the same team. You think Ten Hag, if he was to stay, he would allow it? He would allow rotation. He doesn't know what rotation is, bro.
He doesn't know what. Yeah, he doesn't know.
You know what I mean?
So that's it. The top.
By the way, Lisandro Martinez starts today for Argentina.
Of course he does.
So hopefully he don't get injured.
The top 8 advance directly to the round of 16, while sides finishing from 9th to 24th will contest the knockout round playoffs, with the winners of all 8 two-legged ties going through to the last 16. That's how it works. That's your
that. Yeah, take that. We gotta be favourites going into that though, surely.
I don't know who else is in it, to be honest with you, but I mean,
actually a few decent signings. Sport
remember we used to be favourites in every competition we was in. Do you remember that days? No matter competition, we was a favourite. we should expect to be favourites in every competition, regardless, man. That's how I'll always look at it.
Yeah, but my thing is, like the format is the format in it. But if you got a squad, you don't have to worry about injuries and whatnot. Like you don't. Like you can sort out the team as it says. But you know what I mean? Us doing this whole idea that we were rushing, and that's another thing that INEOS are going to be looking at as well. They want squad rotation. They want youth players as well playing in there. You know what I mean? They'll want like a lot of things happening, you know, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the review's taking long as well, because so much things have been happening last season that they cannot allow to happen. Step to staff, mentality, the way they run things, like they're thinking, right, we're gonna run things differently around here. You feel me? Like
when we're getting the decision then, Saeed, when you're saying we're getting the decision this week, yeah?
I think for me this week. I think for me it will be this week. You know, that's what I'm looking at. That's what
people have been saying that for the last 2 weeks, though, and this is like,
no,
and that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of them. It comes when it comes, and I agree with what you're saying, Saeed. You know, perfection should take. You know, you don't rush perfection. The only thing in back of my head is we just can't waste another season. I can't go through another season like last season. It's so important we start off on the right foot. And what Ashley's saying, you know, pre-season is not too far away, and it just looks from the outside looking in, it looks chaotic and it looks a mess. And I can't. It was meant to be different, and I have to, you know, like you do. You have to hope INEOS have got the shit together and the ducks in a row, that they start to make these decisions that are gonna drag us out the mud, because that's where we firmly are at the minute. And it's just embarrassing that we're the one club that's just constantly in the summer when the Euros, it's just all about United and this stupid manager situation. Do you know what I mean? And so have a Sunday like this, a week before the Euros, and we're hearing about it's this manager. No, it's not. It's this manager. Maybe it's this one. This, and it's like, man, just come out and say something. Confirm, deny. It's gone on too long. Like most clubs get ahead of it. When it starts to get a bit silly with all these stupid stuff, most clubs get ahead of it and put something out there. And like you say, maybe this is the week now that they have to do that, put the foot down and say, listen, this is the way we're going. This is the way it's going to be. Enjoy your Euros, and we'll see you when we see you. Because that needs to happen now, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, big up, man. The chat turned me to savage. I'm not really used to like this. Yo, big up the chat. Make sure you lot are liking the video, man. I think how many likes are we away from 1,000 likes? You know what I mean? But yeah, in terms of transfers, guys, man, I wouldn't be stressing about transfers. I really wouldn't. Like, I know, you know, we need to talk about it and that, but generally, guys, there's literally no point talking about transfers because
But Saeed, time is money. Do you know what I mean? We got to get these deals done soon and quick. Get them into the club. We got to get it done.
I get it.
Because people are moving in on a lease. Say people moving on your targets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and look how long it takes us to do a deal. We don't know what INEOS are like with doing deals. Usually, it takes us weeks, months to do one deal, and then we've got to do one by one. So
we're gonna find out.
We've got to be doing a lot of deals this summer. We've got to be getting rid of a lot of players. There's a lot of players to be shifting out this summer. You know, so we need things moving. We've just wasted 2 weeks essentially. We wasted 2 weeks for what?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Depends on the result in regards to the wasting the 2 weeks. We could have, if we get to the right person and say, I understand the 2 weeks, even though I would have liked them to have done it in a more timely manner. Who the manager is what's going to be. That's what I'd be like. So is this what? So really, you lot wasted all this time and pulled up with Southgate, or pulled up with Potter, or pulled up with Poch. Then I'd be like, are you taking a piss? That's liberty taking. But if they actually put, oh, you know what? I didn't even think of such as that's smart. Okay, first. That's where it is.
Yeah. Facts. 100%. You know what I mean? And that's all we can say right now in a minute, man. So we'll find out, man. We'll find out. But like I said, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open as well. You know what I mean? And just keep looking, man. Tomorrow, 10 p.m., 10 a.m., could be a bomber. You know what I mean? Could be earlier. Could be in the afternoon.
What is it, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.? Is that the time, say?
10 a.m. is always the time when... Sorry. 10 a.m. is a time when you get the bombers. You get the news. Always when there's news breaking, 10 a.m. Just always predict that one.
And if it's not, you can all blame Saeed, okay?
Yeah, you can all blame me. You know what I mean? And I'll just tell you 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So
same again. Yeah. You'll just be like 10 a.m. tomorrow or 10 p.m. tomorrow.
There you go.
When you come back, you say the same again, 10 p.m. or 10
say the same again. Do you know what I mean? But listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks very much for everyone who's donated today. Listen, shout out to everybody who's giving their money and supporting the channel, man. I really appreciate it. Big up to everyone who's liking the video. We're on 828 likes, man. Do you reckon we can get to 1,000 before everyone shouts out their channels? What do you reckon, guys, man?
Yeah, man.
It's literally 150 likes. Come on, man.
What are the goddamn likes you?
Yeah,
quality content here, boys. Come on.
Yeah, quality content we're giving you, man. So please like the video. I'm going to be live in about half an hour for the Argentina-Ecuador game. I think it's going to be a decent game. I want to see this hype about Kendry Paez, whatever he's called, that Chelsea keep gassing up. So I want to see what this guy's about. Messi's on the bench, and Lisandro Martinez is starting. Garnacho's on the bench, so we'll see what that game's saying. Flawless is going to be live. We're going to redirect to Flawless, so make sure you lot check it out. Let them know what you got coming up, man.
Yeah, people, Premier League podcast, Yardman edition. So I'll be there with Lex and Kaneki discussing, obviously, more of what, mainly because Manchester United mainly in the news. So the Thomas Tuchel thing we discussed there. Also, Jadon Sancho as well, what Fabrizio Romano tweeted about him stating that he will be sold. The club are looking to sell him regardless of who the manager is. Plus, more people. Look at Dembele's face, yo.
That's just to rattle people. That's just
I know. People really get annoyed by it. It's like, all right, man, he has an opinion. It's like, it is what it is. But yeah, big. You lot run up the likes here. Big up for having me on Saeed. But yeah, that's what I've got coming up on side. But yeah, subscribe, Sarcasm City TV, YouTube, and it's game 2 of the NBA Finals as well. So if you're an NBA fan, get over to the playback, people. We're live 1:30 a.m. UK time. Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks, game 2.
Yeah, there you go. Big up to Double A, man. Love for always coming on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
One of them, you know what I mean? Good little chat. But
man. Yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? We're all fans, we're all passionate, and we just love the club, mate. We all want the same thing in it, success, and we want it the right way at the end of the day. And listen, we as fans have suffered more than most. I'm joking, that's not true. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we feel like we have the last 10 years.
No, the last 10 years we've suffered more. Because the fall off has been, it's the fall off Double A. That's what it is. Like, imagine being there and being rich and living that lavish life for so long, and then you have to come back down to just normality, a minimum. Like,
is that, you know what? Is that old saying, isn't it? I could live with being poor had I not seen so much riches.
Yeah. James,
you literally go from caviar and lobster to no disrespect, Tesco meal deals.
The sweaty prawn sandwich, mate. Yeah, the sweaty tuna mayo. But no, Saeed, honestly, big up for having me on every single week. Absolutely love it. You know, Saeed opening his door to absolutely everyone. Rightly or wrongly, as some people in the chat might think, but what are you going to do? I'm here. Nothing you can do about it. Big up to my hype man. Hey?
Valued asset here, man.
Valued, man. Trust me.
100%.
It's all good. Big up
on,
to
man,
the
don't
hype
worry.
man, flawless every single time. And my twin, apparently the the cross between myself and Stephen Howson, that's a par if ever I've heard one. I'm bringing par back as well. Ash as well, mate. Big up to Ash. The best chat on YouTube. Love you every single time. FCAA on YouTube. Go and check us out. Still not even at 500 yet, so that should be.
Terrible.
Come on, man, people, man. Come on.
Sort that out soon. Video should be a couple of videos. Hopefully, should be coming out this week. It's been a bit of a busy one, but I still have some content up. And I'm just going to enjoy the Euros. Not trying to think about Manchester United too much, and Germany all the way. Do you know what I'm saying? So big up.
Are you going for Germany?
Well, I did a video on the channel dinner where I went through all the shirts and picked the best shirt.
Oh yeah,
shirt, and that's the team I'm going to support. And obviously it was Germany, mate. But yeah, man, Nagel's been all the way because that's who I wanted at United as well. So it kind of works in quite well. Big up Z, by the way. Appreciate
big up Z, man. And yeah, Ash, man, big up, man. Hopefully, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, pleasure for being here and having me. Thank you very much as always, Saeed, to the boys, Flawless and Double A, to you boys in chat. You know, getting involved and make sure you're hitting those likes. You know, Saeed does well putting us on here. Do you know what I mean? And for the rest of the community and that, you know, he's big man. And yeah, so appreciate it as always, boys. Check me out, Ash Meppers everywhere. I'm ready for bed. I'm still on Cyprus time. Do you know what I mean? I'm 2 hours ahead. I'm still lagged. Do you know what I mean? I've been struggling here, but yeah, we'll see where we're at next week and what happens with Ten Hag, and I'll hopefully get some exciting news in the morning or maybe potentially days to come. So.
Yeah, there you go, people. Make sure you like the video. Like I said, go head up to Flawless's channel, raid over there, and then yeah, man, I'll see you on the watch along in about half an hour. We're out. Hey.